Monday evening then. We're all down West London. It's Fulham versus Chelsea. Chelsea are 2.05 to go to Fulham, who are 3.6. The draw is 3.5. We say it every week. I just keep saying it. Chelsea got a win in midweek in the league, which is all a bit crazy. But Paul Robinson, starting with you on this one, are they? We know Chelsea are capable of things, but they just are not producing. Stats would suggest that they are creating chances. They're just not putting them away. When will it happen? Or will it?
Oh, they're work in progress, aren't they? We hear this every week about transitional period, about a rebuild, about it's going to take time. But the truth is, I'm looking at the league table. Chelsea are 14th. And I mean, I think they finished 12th last year. It's just not a Chelsea side that we're used to seeing. I've seen them 3 or 4 times this year, and they've been good at times in games, 20 minutes, half an hour. First half away at West Ham, they're excellent. They should have gone in 3 or 4 up. Second half, they come out, they're a different side. They're struggling for goals, which is unusual, the amount of quality that they've got, the players that they've got. I think everybody, apart from Chelsea fans, are really enjoying watching Chelsea this season, in all honesty, because of the way that they've scattergun approached it and the money that they've spent. Treatment rooms full, as we know, but having spent that much money and having that bigger squad, they have to be doing better. And in fact, with the way that they are, with the confidence levels where they're at the moment, I'm surprised that they're favourites going into this game.
Neil, if you look at Chelsea's form just in the Premier League, I mean, it's awful, isn't it? I mean, it is almost relegation form over the past 35 games. I think they said it is relegation form, but one win since the 6th of May, and that's a 3-0 home win over Luton Town.
Yeah, I think a bigger concern is the lack of goals has continued from last season. We thought that might be addressed, and I'm sure at some point they will get going, but they haven't scored in the last 3 Premier League games. That's a concern for me. I feel as though the result in midweek, and I know people will say it's only League Cup, they made 5 changes for it. I think that could be a bit of a turning point for them, because Brighton are a decent side, so they'll take confidence from that one. This is a game they would expect to get something from it. I remember last season, I'm sure this was the one where Felix got sent off, didn't he? Was it debut? Certainly one of his first games, and Fulham ended up winning that one. But I look at that maybe turning point midweek in the Cup for Chelsea. They've won a game, and there's been a lot of performances this season for Chelsea that they haven't been getting the results that perhaps they deserved. But maybe that one could just be the turning point for them, and they get another 3 points. You still don't fancy Chelsea to go and beat teams 2-3. May do at some point this season to get clicking, but they could grind out. So an under 2.5 could be quite an appealing bet for this one. Goal scorer wise, I've said it a few times, Enzo Fernandez, 25th Premier League game now for him. Surely he's going to get himself a goal. Premier League goal.
Surely he's going to get one. Was it 2 away wins in 16 for Chelsea in the Premier League? Paul, what about Fulham then? We weren't too sure about them, but actually, looking at what they've done at home, there's lots of goals involved in it. Only 1-0 against Luton last time out, so they got themselves a win. But we've had, at home 5-3 is the end of last season against Leicester, 2-2 with Palace, a 3-0 home defeat by Brentford, which doesn't look great now looking at Brentford.
No, listen, Fulham, they are what they are. They're going to be indifferent. They're going to have enough to stay in this league. They're not going to be knocking on the door for the top half finishes. They're going to be a mid-table team who will just do enough to stay in the league, not because there's worse teams than them, but because they'll amass enough points and that they do what they do. They're a decent club. The manager's got a good identity, the way that they play. But again, it's a team that lacks goals. Without Mitrovic in that side, Jimenez is not going to get you 20, 25 goals a season. You're looking, Iwobi's coming to the side as well. He's not going to be 20, 25 goals a season. You're looking where the goals are going to come from. But Fulham will turn in enough performances throughout a season where they'll pick up enough points. Like I said, I've got them down to win this one, Dave. I think they've got enough at home against the Chelsea team that are really struggling low on confidence. So for me, I think there's a bit of value in Fulham at home. If Chelsea are the favourites, Fulham at home, both teams struggling to score. So maybe Fulham at home, under 2.5 goals, and pick a goal scorer.
There you go. That is a big price. Let's do that. Fulham at home, under 2.5 goals. Go on, pick me a goal scorer then.
Reed. Let's go Decadora Reed.
Let's have a look at these. Am I in the right one? Where is he? Where's he in that list?
Go Reed, Willian, or Pereira. Anyone of the front three that play behind Jimenez.
Neil, what's your
Anyone
feeling?
but the striker.
And I'll take that.
Anyone but the striker, yeah.
Yeah. It's unfortunate. He scores more goals for Mexico than anyone else, but it's bizarre, isn't it? Let's see. Decordova Reed. He is in there somewhere. Surely he's in there.
Or Pereira in there.
Who's the pen taker for Fulham now? Mitrovic has gone. Who's the pen taker?
23 would be Andreas Pereira. That's not bad.
There you go.
With the
he's playing in the number 10 role recently as well. Under 2.5 goals, Pereira to score on a Fulham win. There's some serious value there.
Well, why not? What are you thinking, Neil?
Opposite. Under 2.5, Chelsea to win, and goal scorer wise, again, don't trust the centre forward, so I'd pick someone else. Maybe Enzo Fernandez. But he's on pens, isn't he? He's on pens, Enzo, so maybe a penalty in the game might be a good shout on this one as well.
No, I had that. There's Enzo. Anytime. Oh, can't make the odds for that. Oh, come on. Let's sort this out. Let's do this properly. So you're going Chelsea, unders on the goals.
Yeah.
And Enzo Fernandez. Here we go. Who will score? This is live.
Sevens?
This mouse. Oh,
7.
come on. 7. Where's he gone? Right. My mouse has just broken, and this is not a thing to do on air. Okay. 17. 17. So you can have. Let's get this properly.
Great value.
Yeah, there's some value in this game. I think it might be a low-scoring game, but they're usually pretty good games. There you go. Enzo Fernandez, under 2.5 goals, and a Chelsea win is 17. This is where the two sides might split as we go to scorelines, but we'll work out what that is. But Fulham against Chelsea is your Monday night football. Hopefully, you've been celebrating a European golf win, but if not, then this doesn't really work. But hopefully, fingers crossed, it is that.
Covering every game of the English Premier League, Champions League and Europa League, live as they happen. For the best live bets, this is Clubhouse TV with sportsbet.io. Please gamble responsibly.
Hello everyone, welcome along to Clubhouse TV with sportsbet.io on a Monday night for a London derby. I'm Simon and I'm alongside Dave Tyndall for tonight's action. Yeah, it's Chelsea versus Fulham, or should I say Fulham versus Chelsea. About a mile and a half, is it, between the two clubs? Quite close down there on the River Thames.
Yeah, a couple of tube stops, isn't it, from one to the other. So, it's a derby. It should be fun. It's a nighttime atmosphere. But who's going to score the goals?
Who's going to score the goals? Yeah. If you've been all over social media today, you'll know that there's been a sign on a van parked outside Craven Cottage today from a well-known pizza chain.
Yes.
Other pizza chains do exist. Talking about the number of pizzas that they've sold since Chelsea last scored. And it's quite a lot, isn't it?
It's 9,914,100, and presumably that's out of date by quite a bit now, isn't it?
Yeah.
So probably 10 million by the time we kick off. But it's you can frame it in all sorts of ways, can't you? Where are Chelsea's goals coming from? The drought. Who's going to score them tonight? So just to help them score tonight, they've dropped their top scorer, Raheem Sterling.
Yeah. Interesting one from Maurizio Pochettino. We'll go through the team news in a minute, but I'd like to say hello to everyone who's joined us already on the Telegram for the Clubhouse TV chats. And Imarios predicting a 0-0 draw. We don't want to hear that, Imarios. 0-0. It's going to be a tough watch if that's the case. And 1-1 according to Jeremy Power. Silko, he goes 0+0. So I think that's a 0-0 as well. But generally not a feeling of goals about tonight's game. And what about the team news then, Dave? You mentioned, well, there's no Nicholas Jackson, as we know he's suspended. Can you believe that he's the first player to be suspended in the Premier League this season? A striker for Chelsea.
Yeah, that was shock. That wasn't shock.
Yeah.
That was my tea. He's got booked every game, didn't he? He played, basically.
And do you know what his bookings have been for?
Being rubbish.
Dissent.
Yeah.
All 5. So he's the first player to get the automatic suspension, I believe, in the Premier League this season, but all of them for dissent. And after about 3 or 4 yellow cards for dissent, you'd think, come on, rein it in. You think the manager would have a word, but now he's still got booked for dissent in the next game.
Yeah, not learning fast, is he? And tonight's ref, actually, was one of those who booked him. Tim Robinson. I was saying to you off air, I don't really know much about Tim Robinson, but he took charge of a Chelsea game, just one of 2 he's refed in the Premier League this season. He took charge of Chelsea 0, Nottingham Forest 1, which doesn't bode well. And he showed 7 yellows in that game, booking Jackson, obviously, for dissent. Mm-hmm. He booked Conor Gallagher and he booked Ben Chilwell. Ben Chilwell, of course, is injured. So I'll give you that team news then. No Ben Chilwell, obviously. So Fulham go with Leno, Castagna, Diop, Ream, Robinson, Reed, João Palhinha, Pereira, Wilson, Jimenez and Willian.
Yeah.
So Vinicius, I think he scored in midweek. He's off on the bench. I think both managers have got together and decided we won't have any goals in this game. Chelsea, who do they go with amongst their array of talent? I suppose it's talent, isn't it? Underperforming talent, we'll call it. Sanchez, Disasi, Thiago Silva, Colwill, Cucurella. So that's a funny lineup. I think
out from the cold.
I think you've got Cucurella there.
In from the cold.
Yeah, Cucurella at right back, I think there. Colwill left back. So that everyone's sort of shuffling around, not playing their position. Caicedo, Gallagher, Palmer, Fernandez, Mudryk, and no Sterling, but instead Broja. Do we say Broja or Broja?
I think Broja.
Broja, okay,
yeah.
Broja.
I think we go Broja.
Yeah,
as long as we're consistent.
When I saw him at Southampton, he looked as though he could be a player, and he seems to get injured a fair bit. So we'll see. Maybe he'll get a run in the side, but Sterling's on the bench, so maybe he'll come on and make an impact. But yeah, the immediate thought there is where are the goals coming from, because both sides just struggle terribly since Mitrovic left Fulham. No one's stepped up to the breach, really. I think they've had 5 different goal scorers this season, so no one has got more than 1.
Wow.
So you could argue that's good, isn't it? They're all chipping in, but the thing is you can't rely on the guy that's chipped in once. You can't rely on him to then score again. So I'd rather have a player in my team that scored 4 of those 5, and at least you think,
Mitrovic was doing. He was responsible for
it.
what felt like about 80% of their goals, but he was, that was a good amount of goals.
Yeah.
Jimenez, as the centre-forward replacement, I mean, he's not scored in about a year and a half, has he, in a Premier League?
It's a bit sad, isn't it, really? He's just never been the same player, has he, since he got the head injury?
No. Well, and it is a sad tale because he was a good player and he was scoring goals. He looked a threat, didn't he? And then the injury came, and he's just not been able to recapture that form.
Yeah. So, both sides struggling for a striker, really. I mean, even could make a difference. I was thinking about this. Who's going to go down? And you think, of all those teams down the bottom, who's got a striker? Maybe Fulham have got one, and Carlton Morris. At least he scores.
Luton,
what did I just say?
Fulham,
yeah. Carlton Morris, he got a really good goal at Everton at the weekend. I know he's got a couple of pens, but he's got 3 in 6 at least, and he looks like he's a focal point, an obvious striker. Scored 20 odd in the Championship last season. He had another one at Everton, ruled out for offside when the header came back and he just nodded it in. So he's sort of people might say, oh, he's a bit sort of raw and he's a bit not sophisticated enough, but he's a guy who scores goals and. That's the big thing with Chelsea. Spend £1 million and you've got no one to put the ball in the net.
This is how bad it is. We are drooling over Carlton Morris, everybody, because there's nobody better than him in the 2 starting 11 tonight. There's no way he finishes the season with Luton, though, is there? Because it'll come January. Fulham will go, oh, Jimenez isn't scoring. We'll buy Carlton Morris. And Chelsea will just buy Ivan Toney. And then that's their problem sorted as well.
Yeah, I don't know. I can see the Ivan Toney one happening. I don't know about Carlton Morris. What should Luton tell him? Just ease off a bit. Yeah.
Okay, let's look at some odds then and look at some bets for Fulham versus Chelsea, because we are now, about 10 minutes away from kickoff, something like that.
Yeah, it won't surprise you what I think my main bet's going to be.
Fulham are 3.45. The draws also 3.45. Chelsea are 2.16. Can you back Chelsea at that short odds? Both teams' score is 1.79. Again, that looks a little bit short for my liking. Over 2.5 goals comes in at 1.91. So there is some belief amongst the traders that there's some goals out there tonight. You don't see it.
I agree with our viewers. Imarios has gone 0-0. Silko 0+0. Jeremy PWR 1-1. So all those are coming in at under 2.5. So that's my bet. Under 2.5.
Don't blame you.
It's 1.91. I said to you before, sometimes you can be really sure on a game. I was similar with Sheffield United, Everton. I thought, well, that's never going to be in it. And it was 2-2. But then you came back with the idea that sometimes if you get 2 defensive teams, what's their role? They can't adapt their normal role.
Yeah.
And they get a bit confused. But these 2 teams are teams who like to play a bit. I think no one's saying Chelsea are just dour and can't ever create a chance. They can create a chance, but what they can't do is stick the ball in the back of the net. So until you see a sign of that changing, I think you've just got to go unders in their games. Because as well as not scoring, they don't let many in either. So they are, for all their sort of woes, they're fairly tight defensively. So add it all up and you think, well, I can't, where are the goals coming from? So that's going to be my bet. I'll share that now.
Okay, Dave's sharing his best bet for the game, which is under 2.5 goals. And whilst he's doing that, I'll tell you about the free bet condition for tonight's game, because we again have the 10 times 10 USDT free bets possible to be given away tonight. Depends on whether the condition is met. But we are going to try and make it gettable. So, okay, having just heard what Dave said and what you guys are all saying about the under goals being the play, I feel a bit harsh by just saying over 2.5 goals, because when we go for these, we want something that happens, not something that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So when you're going for something like under 2, it's like for it to not happen. So I'm going to say over 2.5 goals and the bet and the condition lands, but also add something else as well.
Yeah, that's fair.
So here's to you, Mr. Robinson. We want 6 yellow cards.
Yeah, Tim Robinson used to be a cricketer, didn't he? For Nottinghamshire in England. Once scored 175, I think, against the Aussies, maybe.
Yeah, I think he did. So it's one or the other. Over 2.5 goals or 6 cards. Can be of any colour. So yellow's obviously the main ones, but there might be a couple of reds in as well. And who knows? It's a derby. And this game last season, there were 8 cards in the corresponding fixture. I think there were 7 yellows and a red. And in the game that was played at Stamford Bridge, there were 5 yellows. So 13 cards across the 2 matches between these clubs last season gives you a chance, I think, at getting the 6 cards for the condition.
And the fact, another bit of supporting evidence is the fact that Tim Robinson refereed Chelsea Nottingham Forest and showed 7. So we've got a ref who not afraid to flash the yellow cards. He did. The only other Premier League game he's done was Bournemouth Tottenham. He showed 4 in that.
Yeah. I noticed as well from previous history between these clubs, the games with the cards are the ones where Chelsea don't score early and just control the game. So when So the nil, there was a 0-0 last season between Chelsea and Fulham. Surprise, surprise, 0-0. That was the 5-card game. But when Fulham beat Chelsea, that was the 8-card game, including the red. So again, it was probably tetchy because the underdogs were winning. Season before, 2-0 Chelsea won. Quiet game, not many cards because Chelsea scored early and saw it out. And the previous game at Fulham, Chelsea won 1-0 with a very late goal. Tetchy game, loads of yellow cards. So it depends on who scores the first goal. If Fulham were to score the first goal, then cards galore, I'm reckoning. If Chelsea score early, control a game, maybe not.
Yeah, I can see Chelsea getting the hump a bit and maybe just chasing it a bit and getting a bit hot under the collar. You can see Conor Gallagher getting booked, for example, maybe Caicedo, a couple of defenders. Maybe we'll see Mudryk score a goal. Imagine that. Where were you when Mudryk scored a goal?
I mean, he keeps getting chances, doesn't it? I mean, the weird thing was, like, when Graham Potter was in charge and Frank Lampard, he felt like they were drawing names out of a hat and just spreading them out on a Subbuteo pitch and saying, why don't we try this? It was just almost weird how the teams were being picked and no sort of consistency to it.
Yeah.
Mauricio Pochettino, there's no reason for him to do that, but yet again, we're 6-7 games into the season and it's still change after change after change of formation. We don't know if it's going to be back 4 or back 3, probably a back 4, but you can't be 100% sure. And again, lots of weird changes.
Yeah, I mean, as I said before, Sterling has clearly, his form has dipped a bit. It's weird because when he scored that double against, was it a hat-trick he scored against Luton?
He scored a hat-trick, yeah.
Yeah, when he scored that, it was a really good hat-trick. I remember the first goal, he just sort of cut in, weaved inside the penalty area, and you thought, well, at least he's on his game. And then he seems to have fallen away a bit. So,
yeah,
I don't know whether he's fallen away enough though to just drop him when you think, you want as many potential goal scorers in that team as you can. But anyway, what do I know? Pochettino has clearly got something worked out. One interesting thing I thought from the Fulham point of view: if Fulham win a penalty, who's taking it? Because Mitrovic isn't there anymore. I don't think we know, do we?
No. Willian, maybe. Palhinha, I don't know. Did he take them for Sporting? Don't know.
Tricky one, isn't it? Could it be Harry Wilson? He's brilliant at dead balls.
Yeah, could be. Hello to Black Dog. Hello to everyone in Ecuador. Black Dog, I think, from Ecuador. He says 0-0 draw. Genetic says, aside the Grand Wizard of Mon, the Quizmaster Guru, and he's gone Grand Professor Dave, the Duke of the People, man of many voices.
Thank you.
Yeah. Any voices for us tonight? Oh, you probably just slip them in without me noticing.
Yeah. It's normally Roy. Roy Hodgson was good for Saturday because obviously he won at your place. Sorry about that. You see his record at Old Trafford?
It's good, isn't it? Yeah.
Even with Watford, he got a draw there.
Yeah.
I think he's won 3 of his last 4.
With Watford?
Yeah. I think
a
0-0 draw with Watford.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Sort of knows what to do. I thought we did quite well, so once again, got a victory when I thought a 3-0 defeat would have been a fair result. Too fair, and he's too sort of humble in his sort of
doing a good job again.
Up his ambition. Yeah, Palace are going to be just fine, aren't they? It's like you plug Roy into that Palace team, and he just we'll come 12th. That's fine.
And that's all the owners want. The owners are like,
absolutely, Roy. Yeah.
Absolute lifesaver for them.
You've got a former Palace man coming to your place tomorrow night.
Wilf
Zaha.
Yeah.
A former Man United man as well, although no one really remembers much that he did there when he was
I think I saw a game that he played once. Yeah. I think he got a few minutes before David Moyes threw him out.
Hooked him. Yeah.
So we're about to get underway at Craven Cottage. Yeah, tomorrow night I'll be at Old Trafford for my sins, watching Wilf Zaha possibly tear us apart. Who knows?
He did. I'd noticed. I wrote a preview of this game, and he did score his first Galatasaray goal at the weekend.
Yeah, he's not been starting many games, has he? And that weekend match was not well. They gave him a game in the weekend game before the Old Trafford game, so I'm thinking he's not going to start against us tomorrow. But you never know. I've probably messed your preview up there by saying that, haven't I?
I've not tipped him. I just pointed it out. He'll probably come on after 70 minutes and when with tired legs and score a goal. But
that'll be the plan.
Although Turkish teams don't do very well, do they, when they come to England, to be fair?
Good start from Fulham, though. They're on the
Yeah,
front
in the
foot
box.
into the Chelsea penalty area. And
Thought it was going to go down then. We would find the answer to our riddle, who takes Fulham penalties.
I don't know if this is a corners game tonight.
This could
Although
be
there's
one
some nice
here.
wide play in the early stages. But Chelsea save the corner, get it out. And Mudryk now, what can he
his
do?
Pace, but he overruns it.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe he just needs one good game to really get going. And let's not forget as well, he's from the Ukraine. There's a war going on there. There's other things going on in his mind. Maybe it's been hard for him to settle. Because he pretty much was signed months after the war started, wasn't he?
Yeah. Plus, he's hardly played football at any level.
Could be a
has he?
chance here for Chelsea, and they're in with an early chance for a goal. They take it around the goalkeeper. Surely Broja.
Oh, dear me. There's Chelsea all over.
Armando Broja has already caught the Chelsea disease, and that is missing open goals. That was a Nicholas Jackson
Oh, my word.
by any other name.
He's done everything right there, hasn't he? He's just, let's say, in the build-up. So the ball bounces there. Then Mudryk sort of goes to get a foot in. Then the ball just breaks to
Is he offside?
Broja's way, cuts across the keeper. There's 3 Fulham defenders kind of in front of the goal. But I don't know. That's clearly put him off a bit. He's thinking he has to. Well, I think he's gone for the sort of the top corner, and he's just like sliced it a bit.
Hiding his head in his shirt.
Yeah.
The embarrassment.
A familiar,
Of the miss.
a familiar kind of roll of the eyes from Chelsea fans there.
Yeah. Well, we're going to see a game at some stage this season when all 11 Chelsea players will be like this with their shirts up over their eyes at some point.
Yeah.
Because that's the way it's going.
Having fluffed a great chance. But that was after 2 minutes.
Yeah, it could have been a dramatic start. Could have been well on the way to the over 2.5 goals with that, but he missed it, and so we go on. Anybody who's on the 0-0 is quite happy about that.
Did you think it could have been offside? I wasn't really watching.
I thought there was
closely.
maybe a half chance of offside, but the flag didn't go up, and I'm not seeing any checks. But Chelsea continue to come forward. Could be another chance. Then Mudryk passes to a Fulham player. So
Just when the teams came out and the officials came out, I thought I saw Simon Hooper. Who was the ref?
the scourge of I was going to say the scourge of the Scousers, but he's certainly not
I
on
thought he'd been
the
stood
Christmas
down.
card list.
If you stood down, then can you still be a fourth official? I don't really know that rolling.
I don't think he was stood down. I think it was the VAR, wasn't it, that was stood down?
Right, the 2 guys who
VAR and the assistant VAR was stood down.
who we think started watching the Ryder Cup and forgot to watch
I
the
would
football.
think that's very likely.
Yeah.
Yes. Foul on Andreas Pereira.
He's holding his face. Has he taken a little flick of the hand into the eye or something?
Well, looking for our first yellow card of the game. That looked like a good tackle to me. He got the ball. He wasn't coming in from behind or round the... Well, he was a little bit round the side, but I thought he got the ball. However, I don't think the referee gave a free kick, did he? Then he's just taking it back because Pereira was lying on the ground. Or has he given the free kick? He has given the free kick. Okay.
Yeah, no card or anything.
So let us know what your thoughts are regarding this game. Will it be a red card maybe, or a penalty, or drama? What about another VAR controversy? We've had enough of those, really.
No, thank you.
It's dominated the news agenda in England, UK today, the aftermath of the Tottenham-Liverpool game.
Yeah, I was telling you earlier, Simon, that I went into John Moss's record shop today. I probably said this before, that John Moss, the former referee, who's now the kind of number 2 to Howard Webb, who's Mr. VAR. I went into John's record shop today to try and buy the new Teenage Fan Club album, and he'd sold out. So good. And it absolutely packed. It's in Headingley, which you'll know a lot of guys you'll know from the cricket. So it's in Headingley. It's Studentsville, isn't it, Headingley? So, and his record shop was absolutely packed full of students drinking coffee and eating cake. I think that's what they were eating.
Yep.
And so I had a quick word with him. I know John, and said, "What's going on then?" And he said they're going to release the audio of what happened tonight.
Okay.
He said.
Yeah.
I presume he knows because he's.
Well, it's Monday Night Football, isn't it? So maybe it goes on. You know,
maybe they've had a word with Sky,
TV.
and they're going to do that after this game. But yeah, it'd be interesting to hear what was said, because it was just. I told this to a mate, and he said, "Yeah, they're just re-recording it now somewhere."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello to
Watergate or something.
Oh, I need to get this pronunciation right. Hello to Suaidia Ismail, who says, I think 2-0 for Chelsea.
Okay.
2-0 was the score when these two last met. Well, it was in the summer, actually, in a friendly game. I think it was one of those Premier League series games. Chelsea won 2-0. It was also a score 2 seasons ago when they played at Stamford Bridge. So 2-0, there's been a couple of them recently when these two sides have met. So, yeah, I think if Chelsea win, it's going to be that kind of score, isn't it? It's not going to be running away with it. It's going to be a 1-0, 2-0 for Chelsea if they do get the win tonight.
Pereira saying he's been nobbled a second time by Caicedo. He did a bit of a knock in the back of the head or the back. And he's saying twice. That's twice he's done me, but maybe he'll tot them up. A couple of little stats for you. 5 of the 9 Chelsea players on the bench have never kicked a ball for the first team.
Oh, okay.
Where do they? It's like a void. Where do all the Chelsea players come and go, and like a magic portal that they somehow spend millions, and they've got a load of kids who've never played before. And of all those young lads on the bench, Sterling's the only one over 21 of all the bench.
Well, you heard noises coming out of the Chelsea dressing room last season. Was it Thiago Silva saying that they had to, not everybody could fit into the dressing room at the training ground? There was, some sort of implied criticism of the team building, if you like, because of that. And yeah, nothing's changed. They just keep on bringing players in, keep on shipping them out. It's just there's no sort of stability to it all, and it must be frustrating from the player's perspective because you've just got a new teammate every week, and then the teammate that you were establishing some chemistry with is suddenly gone. Yeah,
funny old business. We have got some goals elsewhere. In Italy, Fiorentina have gone 2-0 up.
Let's have a look at it
on Cagliari. First goal in the 3rd minute. I think they've just added a second one after 21. A good start there for Fiorentina.
I'll have a look at some stats in that in a moment.
There were 2 earlier games. Sassuolo lost 1-0 at home to Monza, and Torino drew 0-0 with Verona.
Right.
So not a day for goals in Italy, although we have got them in this final match. Maybe that's a good sign. And there's a game in Spain as well. Las Palmas 0, Celta Vigo 0 after 8 minutes.
Las Palmas, Celta Vigo, who were so close to beating Barcelona. Rafa Benitez, of course, in charge there now as well. They were 2-0 up, and it was going towards stoppage time, and then Barca just did a madness and won 3-2. It was crazy. Did not see that one coming.
Yeah. Did Jude Bellingham score again, or did he assist again?
Yeah, he scored. He scored, yeah.
So every time you look at the sort of European roundup, goals for Bellingham and Harry Kane in their respective. Kane got another penalty, I believe, for Bayern at the weekend.
Yeah.
So he's just started on fire, hasn't he, really?
Well, if you like penalties, yeah.
He's got about 3, has he? He's scored a few.
I mean, he's going to score 30-odd goals in the Bundesliga, which is a great return, but 10 of them will be penalties, so,
Yeah.
Probably.
And they virtually get a penalty every game, don't they, Bayern, it seems.
Fiorentina stats there, 72-28 in terms of possession, 4 shots to 1, yeah. So Fiorentina going well in that one, 1 corner apiece. In fact, just gone 2-0 up. Second goal's gone in for Fiorentina, I think, there. Did you say it was 2-0?
I did, but I was confused because I'm sure it was saying 0-0, and then it suddenly jumped to 2-0. But yeah, the second one went in the 21st, I think.
Right.
Yeah,
2-0.
In terms of the stats in this game, we have 1 goal attempt in the first 10 minutes, and we saw that one. That was Brogia whacking the ball over the bar.
Alberto Dos Senna has just scored an own goal. He's not the
Andrea
Dos Senna, wasn't it?
Is he related? I wonder.
I don't know.
The one who scored at your place in that 4-1.
He did, yeah.
In the space of about... Andreas Dos Senna did nothing really for Liverpool, but in the space of about 4 days, he scored against Man United and Real Madrid. And then sort of vanished again.
Yeah. Just secured his legendary status. And
it's classic. What you want to do as a cult figure, do something memorable in a big game and just nothing else. And your place is cemented.
So Fulham just doing a bit of defending at the moment. No more serious chances. There was a shot from Mudryk that flew over moments ago, but no other serious sort of threat to an opening goal in the game, or even a yellow card. Referee Robinson has given a couple of fouls, but no thoughts to go to his pocket just yet in this one.
Yeah, no corners either, so not a lot of action in the first 11 minutes now. But hopefully things will change. Not that I'm expecting it, though. I went for under 2.5 goals.
Hakan has gone 1-0 Fulham. He thinks
1-0 Fulham, right?
Yeah,
okay.
He thinks the home side win this one. Hakan, what do you think about Galatasaray at Manchester United tomorrow? Your team, are they going to go away with all 3 points and leave United pointless in the group? Let us know.
They were. Here come Chelsea again. They were 2-0 down, weren't they, to Copenhagen with about 4 minutes left, and got a 2-2 in that first game.
Could be a chance for Chelsea.
Hakan's gone for another 2-2. He says, I hope we could get a 2-2 draw.
Yeah. That'd be a good start, really.
There was, see if you remember this. Do you remember when Galatasaray went there and drew 3-3?
Yeah.
Do you remember who got Man United's equaliser? So Galatasaray were 3-2 up, I think 1994.
Mm-hmm.
Quite a famous Man United player got the equaliser.
Peter Schmeichel.
No. Not that. Yeah.
Peter Schmeichel. Peter Schmeichel got himself in some trouble because there was a pitch invader. A Galatasaray fan invaded the pitch, and Schmeichel, rather than let the stewards deal with it, did a Johnny Bairstow sort of thing. Grabbed hold of the fan, and that did not go down well because then we had to go to Galatasaray for the second leg, which was the Welcome to Hell game. Yeah. And I think that kind of just enraged the home fans somewhat there a little bit, what Schmeichel did. Who scored our equaliser in a 3-3 draw? A famous player.
Very famous. Well, they all were around then, weren't they, 94? Did you have any unfamous players back then? You had a proper team back then.
Not Cantona, was it?
It was Cantona.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, it didn't score in the game at their place. I did the 0-0 draw, which sent us out.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, away goals.
Yeah.
Hakan admits we have some defensive problems, but I'm not afraid of Man U. Well, there's a lot of people saying that,
yes,
Hakan. Yeah. Brighton certainly weren't afraid of us. Crystal Palace weren't afraid of us. I don't think Burnley were afraid of us, to be honest, but we somehow got a win there.
I think I've noted that Galatasaray are on an unbeaten run of 20 games.
Yeah.
Which is all good for the confidence.
Yeah, I'll take a draw.
You've lost all faith in your team. Who would it be? Galatasaray who would nick second spot if off you?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
they're better than Copenhagen.
Yeah. They've obviously dropped points against Copenhagen there, but they finished very strong. Copenhagen actually played well, and Hakan will probably, but I think they surprised Galatasaray with how well they played. But then once Galatasaray were 2-0 down and just had to go for it, then they started cutting them open.
Yeah.
Kind of ran out of time. Might have even won that, I think, perhaps, if they had a bit more time.
Quite a few well-known players, haven't they, Galatasaray? Looking Dries Mertens.
I don't think he's the player he
Ziyech.
was, Dries Mertens. Icardi's playing well, though. And,
Icardi, yeah.
Aktürkoğlu's a good player. I think he might even keep Zaha out of the team. Hakan says, yes, we didn't lose for a while, but we haven't hit our potential peak yet.
Right.
I expect more from my team. Okay.
Right. Well, they've started well. They've won 6 out of 7 in Super League, but someone's won 7 out of 7. I think they're not actually top.
Yeah.
But you can't beat winning 6 out of 7. Well, you can beat it, but it's a very confident start that they've made. And add in the draw against Copenhagen from 2-0 down. Yeah, they go there with that confidence.
Hakan confirming Fenerbahce 1-7.
Fenerbahce, yeah.
But we're talking about that game and tomorrow night's Champions League action because this one hasn't really caught fire yet. Early stages, Fulham 0, Chelsea 0. Odds have changed very little from the opening quotes of 3.45 for Fulham, 3.45 the draw. Chelsea were 2.1 something, they're now 2.26. The draw's 3.2, Fulham are 3.5, so very little change there.
Yeah, Fulham have had more possession, 57%. But I think it's just kind of at the back possession. They've not done anything with it. No goal attempts yet. Chelsea have had officially one, I think, but that didn't come to anything. Well, that Broha miss, which was the kind of only exciting bit. It's still weird, isn't it, seeing Cole Palmer in a Chelsea shirt? Why did he go? What was going on there? I just thought he was the next in line, cab off the rank. Was there some bigger reason?
I'm assuming Guardiola just didn't fancy him. You know, they've got 40 million quid for a player that Guardiola wasn't playing. He'd give him games in the FA Cup, and he'd be on the bench for, the odd game here and there. But Guardiola didn't play him.
No, but then you could say maybe he's just nursing him too, like Phil Foden or something.
I think if Guardiola likes you as a player, no matter what age, you could get in the team. Like he played Rico Lewis, 18-year-old left back, played him central midfield last season. If he likes the guy, he's going to play him. He played Messi when he was 17, or 16.
Got a corner.
Obviously, everybody would have done that. Yeah. But if you're good enough according to Guardiola, you'll play. I think Cole Palmer was like 21 and he's still on the bench. So I think
maybe it's just a win-win, wasn't it? City got a good fee. He gets first-team football. Everyone's happy. Corner for Fulham, first corner of the game, I think.
I think it's telling that they sold him to Chelsea, though, isn't it? That shows you that they
no
really
risk.
have no fear of Chelsea whatsoever. They're willing to sell players to them.
Yeah. Because obviously last season they got a bit of sort of grief, didn't they, for selling Jesus and Zinchenko, and it looked like, that could backfire for a long time. That could backfire. And
corner was fairly well defended by Chelsea. Still haven't quite got it fully away. Second phase on the edge of the box, and Colwill takes a little. Was it Colwill? No, I think it was. It was Enzo. Did really well, actually.
He did a little flick. Oh, hello. I think we've got a goal.
A goal?
A football goal.
A football goal in this game?
Yeah.
Surely not.
Chelsea may have taken the lead.
Which way's it gone?
I think it might have gone to Chelsea. Colwill down the left. Lobs it in. Is it going to be Mudryk? Oh, my word. Mudryk scored a goal.
Fulham in the mud. That was the goal that all Chelsea fans have been waiting about a year for. As Mykhailo Mudryk, he gets a nice handshake and a tap on the head from Disasi.
Is this the weekend where the kind of players who've lost complete confidence in everything, like Havertz, score a goal? Let's just check this. We never know these days with VAR, but I think he's all right.
Oh, it's a
Ball
nice
out
pass.
to the left.
Caicedo's pass is beautiful.
Yeah. And then Colwill, he controls in his midriff, gets it on target. I guess it sort of goes through the keeper. It's one of those ones, it's not like a particularly clever finish because it could have gone anywhere, but it's just sort of gone through the keeper's legs, I think.
Yeah, made in Brighton, that goal, wasn't it? Caicedo to Colwill and then on to Mudryk. The ball from Colwill, though, that is a bit special, isn't it? Just to chip it over the head of the defender and onto the chest of Mudryk.
Yeah.
Nice goal. And have we got another...
Chelsea scored again.
Have we got another... Whilst we're watching this replay, Chelsea are scoring again. This is unbelievable.
Well, there's a very famous phrase about London buses. Here we are in London.
Oh, it's a mistake.
And Chelsea...
it's an
own goal. Was it Tim Ream who scored an own goal? Was it Broha? It's 2-0. I think that's Tim Ream, don't you? I think he just prodded a foot out.
Tim Ream has tried to prevent Broja from scoring, but he's actually scored himself, Yeah,
famous phrase about London buses. You wait all this time for one and then two come along at once. That's what we've seen with Chelsea goals. Let's just make sure this is all right. Leno passes it.
Oh, it's Tim Ream's
Ream
mistake. It's a double mistake.
And then that's him, isn't he? What's he doing there?
Yeah, credit to Palmer. He closes him down, and then he plays the assist for Ream.
Ream kicks it onto Broja's foot.
So it's going to go to Broja, that goal. Yeah. Broja will get an inadvertent deflected goal.
To be fair, Ream's clearance would have been a clearance, but Bro has stuck a foot out and has got his goal.
Wow.
So two Chelsea players who haven't scored in moons.
Well, the free bet condition could land very early on in this game because we went over 2.5 goals. We've had 2 in the first 20 minutes. But we could not have foreseen that these two teams who've scored 10 goals between them all season would produce 2 in the first 20 minutes. But that's the way it's gone.
Maybe this is a lesson. You know, when a game looks like it's got 0-0 written all over it,
Yeah.
there's a trap, isn't it? It's like something will be different. But yeah, under 2.5 goals looks a bit shaky now, I have to say.
Genetic Timo celebrating. Hakan says no way. Genetic says
no.
yes way with the emojis that followed it. Silco, ha ha ha! I love you, Simon. I mean, it was a joint effort. The free bet condition. Koki, wow. Suaidia Ismail, what is happening? Yeah, we think that's as well.
Yeah. What do we do now? Do we go for more Chelsea goals? Third goal, Chelsea 1.93, Fulham 2.32. No third goal, 7.2. Sort of team.
Let's have a look at the odds. So Fulham have gone 24s. You're not touching Fulham at 24s.
No.
Is there anything that makes you think this could finish in a draw?
No.
Okay. So that's the 1x2 is foregone conclusion. Chelsea going to win at 1.1.
Yeah.
Third goal live. Fulham are 2.32. They've not shown anything yet, though, have they?
No, and you got a feeling Chelsea's football has been decent enough all season. It's like, does this now fuel them with confidence, and then suddenly they can score 3 or 4? Is this just what they needed? Like a sort of batsman needed a 50 just to get going, got their eye in. But Fulham haven't had a shot in 22 minutes. So quarter of the game gone, Fulham haven't had a shot. And, if they do push forward, Chelsea have got obviously the fast players, haven't they, to do them on the break. So
it's all fallen really nicely for Chelsea now. Yeah. Getting that first goal has put everything in their favour. Fulham were their own worst enemies the way they lost that second goal. They could easily have stopped that at source with just kicking it long, really, rather than playing out to Tim Ream. But
we've got prices on who scores the next goal.
Oh, good.
The third goal, that is. So you've got Broja 6.8 to add to the one he scored already. You've got Raul Jimenez at 6.9. Not so keen on that. Mudryk 9.4 to add to his opener.
Yeah.
Cole Palmer also 9.4. Maybe he'll get in on the act. Caicedo 22. Who else have we got there? Conor Gallagher 14. Enzo Fernandez 12.5.
Yeah, that's not a bad one.
So I'm looking at the Chelsea ones really.
Yeah.
It's hard to give Fulham much in this game so far. Chelsea might just fancy scoring a few more. Thiago Silva 26.
Good performance this from Chelsea so far. They haven't really given Fulham a sight of their goal, and they've capitalised on an error and forced a good goal themselves. So Pochettino will be pleased, I think, with how this has gone. That was Simon Hooper. He's there as the fourth official.
Is he wearing like a fake moustache and glasses?
No, he's there. Bald as brass, or bold as brass, I think the phrase, isn't it? But he's bald. Fulham 0, Chelsea 2. Midway through the first half of this game, I'll come to you for a new next best bet. Just go through some messages. Martin, hi Martin. He's given us a wavy hand. And Chi saying, surprising. Yes, it is surprising. That surprising
We agree.
It's definitely the phrase. Caicedo next goal, according to Black Dog, who is from Ecuador. So going for the patriotic punt there on your guy. And Hakan says, and the thing is, this game could end like this. So anything is possible with Chelsea. Has anything just happened?
Fulham.
Yes, we have a goal.
What is
a
going
third
on?
goal. And this is going to land the free bet condition. So I'm going to have to get my question right. It's from a corner, I think.
Yeah, so ball in from the right.
What?
Cucurella with his big hair has just nodded it out for a corner. Or is it?
Oh.
I don't know.
It may have been a false missive from Craven Cottage. Was it a close run thing that didn't
I think
go?
the VAR team from Liverpool game were operating the scoreboard.
Genetics say never mind. No, no goal.
I don't even... There's nothing that even looks like a goal, is there?
Yeah. That was strange, isn't it?
I don't know what...
Somebody's collapsed out of shock at Chelsea having 2 goals. Somebody's collapsed on their computer and it's registered as a Fulham goal.
Simon Hooper's younger brother or something is operating the computer and he's nodded off. Yeah. So forget that. No free bet just yet.
Still only 2-0.
Yeah, and no shot from... All that Fulham got there was a corner. They didn't get a goal, just a corner. A simple corner.
Hello to Slissy, who joins us.
What is going on?
Good to hear from you, Slissy, Director of Corners, Director of Bolivian Football. And he says, what's going on? 2-0 Chelsea. It is.
I know. We were flabbergasted by one, and just as we were still trying to come to terms with them scoring a goal, Mudryk scoring a goal, they got another one. Gifted it.
How many of Chelsea's goals? Chelsea got 7 goals this season. How many of them have been at Stamford Bridge?
Well, the Fulham game wasn't it?
So the Luton game.
Yeah.
That was
it?
that.
Was it away?
I don't know. I'm asking. I don't know.
I thought it was at home.
I can find it out. Let's have a look.
Sure, that was at home.
Chelsea.
I was working because James Butler had Sterling as his captain.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
So okay, they've scored against Liverpool, 1 against Liverpool, 3 against Luton, and so that's 4 at home.
So before tonight, they'd scored only 1 away goal, but they've trebled that tally. They'll all fancy a bit of it now, won't they? They're breaking away. Mudryk will just put the afterburners on.
Yeah, showing a few tricks, showing some skills.
Oh.
Not a bad cross either.
Yeah, fizzed across with his left foot there, but Leno was down to intercept. But yeah, it looks like amazing what a goal does, doesn't it? It suddenly looks a complete danger now, doesn't he? Just doing all the step overs and everything. Yeah.
If you're Fulham, I mean, you just got to get hold of the ball and don't give it away, because they're going to hurt you in transition, aren't they, with the space they've got now. So they've got to be really very accurate with the passing and try not fall for any traps. I think Caicedo's having a good game.
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose you pay that much money, you expect a few good games out of the guy, but this is definitely...
I mean, potentially. I mean, there's a lot of talent on that pitch, isn't it, for Chelsea? Even though, there's a lot of kids on the bench, and there's still... you think, well, who's the proper striker there? But, I mean, they've got World Cup winners in the side. They've got Thiago Silva there. That midfield, in theory, is a really good midfield, isn't it? Adding Conor Gallagher, it's like a pretty dynamic, vibrant midfield. They're certainly winning the midfield battle tonight, anyway.
Yeah, I think so. So, Dave, have you got any new angles on this one?
Yeah, I thought that Fulham goal was going to sort of ruin it, and I'm glad I didn't. Well, the Chelsea third goal is 2.
Yep. And they might score it now.
Yeah, they got bursting forward. Look, here's Cole Palmer. Oh, if he was right-footed then, cut back. Yeah, I think this could be sort of Chelsea's breakthrough night when things just go their way a little bit. So, yeah, I'm going to go for Chelsea third goal. It's actually just shaved to 1.97 now, but yeah, it's
still good. It's still more or less double your money, isn't it?
Yeah, because Fulham's still not created anything.
Yeah. I think we could be struggling for cards tonight, but I mean, as long as there's 3 goals, the free bet condition will land. But the 6 yellows, I think, is now in major jeopardy because Chelsea have got the early goal and are controlling things.
Yeah, you said, didn't you? It needed a Fulham goal.
Needed, or just Chelsea not to be in front early. The game where they scored after 78 minutes to win 1-0, that was a high cards game as well. But when it goes their way early, I think the chances of being a high cards game go out the window, to be honest. Ready to be proved wrong. We'll see. The markets now, you mentioned, was it over 5.5 at the start of the game for total bookings?
Yeah.
It's now down to 4.5, 2.08 for over 4.5 yellow cards. But like I say, it wouldn't be one I would play at the moment. I might be tempted by the under 4.5 cards at this stage, and that is 1.66. Of course, goal for Fulham, if they were to, cut it to 2-1, and then, then the tackles might start flying in again, and the discipline might go once more. But I think at the moment, Chelsea are playing with the sort of air of a team who are quite happy about life, and the cards may not come because of that.
Yeah, I agree. I think it needed to be the other way around, I think, for that card market to get going. But of course, yeah, as you say, play it the other way then if you think...
1.66 under 4.5.
Yeah, if this is the recipe for not many cards. Obviously, there's normally more cards in the second half when teams get tired. You were saying as well, is it a slippy pitch? I don't think it particularly is it? I've not seen much rain there.
No, it's not raining at the moment, is it? Marco Silva's not even got a coat on the touchline, so it's not one of those where we saw at Old Trafford on Saturday, rain throughout the game, players sliding in a bit more than usual. Hakan says, Simon, what do you think about the Man United game tomorrow? I think it's it's one where if we score the first goal, even if we score the first goal, we might still not win. But I think we kind of have to score the first goal, Hakan. Man United have to score the first goal because the confidence is so fragile at the moment. And I worry that if Galatasaray go 1-0 in front, then it could end up, I think you win. If you score the first goal, you win.
Really? Are you that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've played Crystal Palace at home. Crystal Palace are no better than Galatasaray.
They're not, but they sort of know what to do, though, don't they? They've been there so many times. When was the last time we played Galatasaray? 2012. I got a feeling your boy Rasmus Højlund, this will be his tournament, because he hasn't scored in the Premier League, has he? But he scored at Bayern.
Yeah.
I did know for Denmark, he only made his Denmark debut in March, I think. He's got 6 in 6 for Denmark. Maybe he's a bit more just suited to...
Yeah. Plays under the lights better than he does on a wet Wednesday, wet afternoon.
Maybe the sort of helter-skelter the Premier League's just a bit... He's just getting used to it. Might just prefer the more measured pace, maybe. But yeah, he would... I think the fact that he did get his goal against Bayern, I think he might come good again in this one.
What's a Galatasaray's defenders like, Hakan? What are your central defenders like? Are they...
going to be bullied off the ball by the big Dane. Do you like him? If you think...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
I'm willing to give him a fair crack of the whip. He's definitely an improvement on what we had before, which was, nobody really, because Martial's always injured. But yeah, he's miles better than Martial. He plays like a centre-forward plays, rather than Martial, who plays like just any other position other than what a centre-forward should do.
Yeah.
Just what he wanders around outside the penalty area, waiting for somebody to tee him up for a 25-yard shot. No, you're the centre forward. You have to be in a 6-yard box, or have to be just outside a 6-yard box, waiting for the easy tap in. But no, he's there, sort of going, "Oh, pass to me. I'm 25 yards out on my right foot." Yeah.
Do you think he's a 20-goal, 25-goal a season player though, Højlund?
Not at the moment, no.
He didn't get that many, did he? For who does he come from?
Atalanta.
Atalanta.
Yeah, he got 10, I think. Was it 10 in 30 or something like that?
Yeah.
Not all of them starts, but 30 Serie A appearances, 10 goals. But yeah, he's 20, isn't he?
Yeah.
How many goals did... it's probably still like 40. How many goals did Haaland score when he was 20? Let's all find that out. I bet it's still about 40. I'll find it out now.
So where would he have been then? Would he join Dortmund?
He would have been
then?
Salzburg. Yeah.
I think it might be 40.
Yeah, it probably wasn't it?
I saw him score for Salzburg at Anfield once. Oh, got a booking.
The first of the game.
There we go. Who's that?
Cucurella, I think. Cucurella's dived in on...
that's bad, isn't it?
It's an orange. It's not a yellow. That's worse than a yellow card.
Sort of flicked his boot up at his knee and even higher.
So Erling Haaland is 23 now. So we go back. So 1 season Man City, 2 seasons Borussia, 3 seasons Borussia Dortmund. So it was his first season. Actually, it was a split season. He was at Salzburg for the first half and Dortmund for the second half.
Yeah,
and he scored 16 goals for Salzburg and 13 goals for Dortmund. So he scored 29 goals as a 20-year-old in 2 decent leagues there.
He's all right, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he'll go on to be a decent player.
Celta Vigo have scored a goal. They've taken the lead away to Las Palmas in the 35th minute.
Hakan says, just going back to his talk about the Galatasaray game tomorrow, says, we've got Davinson Sanchez.
Oh, yeah, that's right, yeah.
Our actual defender had some problems. He wanted to leave for another club,
defender.
But he couldn't, and he's not playing, so we're not that good in defence. That's what I'm afraid of. We can't defend like Palace or Burnley. Okay. Yeah, Davinson Sanchez was a bit dodgy for Tottenham, wasn't he? So
yeah, he became a bit of a sort of boo boy figure, didn't he, for them? Which I thought before he joined Tottenham, I thought he was a good... I was quite impressed with him, what I'd seen him before then. Maybe that was on limited evidence, but yeah, things sort of got away from him a bit.
Victor Nelson is the other defender, the actual defender I'm talking about. He's
okay.
Swedish, I think, isn't he? So that'll be interesting tomorrow. At the moment, Chelsea looking to consolidate their 2-0 advantage. 10 minutes to go in the first half. Foul on Colwill. Yeah, just that one yellow card so far then in the game. What's Harry Wilson done to his hair? He's got some sort of, I don't know, grey, white, bleached effort he's got on there.
Not great. A few dodgy haircuts knocking around at the minute. The mullet is back, isn't it? The mullet is back as a haircut.
Right. I will be getting one.
No, I think we'll be all right. Fulham haven't had a shot.
No.
Not a single shot.
Yeah, Marco Silva must be concerned right now that whatever he's told his team to do, it's just not happening for them. And that's a free kick, is it? No, referee says get up.
58% possession, and they've not had a single shot, Fulham. That's Conor Gallagher who went over. So, yeah, at the moment, it's just Fulham are sort of knocking it about, maybe in the sort of first third of Chelsea's half for a little bit. And then you're just waiting for Chelsea to win back possession and break on them. Pereira's just getting a little talking to from the referee, but that's all it is, I think. Yeah. He's not in a very booky mood, is he, old...
No.
What was he called? Simon Hooper?
No, Tim Robinson. You've got
Simon
Hooper on the brain.
Yeah. Dear viewers, what did you think of Curtis Jones' red card? Was that a yes or a no?
Could be a chance here for Chelsea again.
Into the box. Oh, right across the 6-yard box and no one there to tap it in.
Yeah, so I didn't see the Tottenham versus Liverpool game that Dave's talking about. It was a game where Liverpool picked up 6 yellows and 2 reds, was it? Something like that?
Yeah.
The first red was the straight red, and that's the Jones one you're talking about,
yeah.
Which was on the tackle where he's apparently kicked the ball and then the follow-through has gone to... His
foot sort of slipped across the top of the ball and then his foot's gone in on...
But I know it's a different situation, but if you often see a tackle where players gone to ground in a tackle, they've won the ball cleanly in the tackle, but then their foot with the studs has followed through onto the opponent.
Yeah.
And that's deemed a red card, isn't it? Is there any difference between that and the Jones one? The difference is that Jones is stood up, isn't it?
I don't know. Yeah, he stood up and he's able to sort of move his body weight back towards himself by the end of the sort of movement, suggesting he wasn't sort of going. Yeah, it was. Let's be clear, it wasn't the worst decision made that day, but
no.
I've seen so many different opinions of it, and then there's all sorts going on, isn't there? Where the first Jota yellow card, the player just falls over his own feet.
Yeah, I saw that reviewed on a TV channel here in the UK today, and they were...
who was that?
That was Udogie, wasn't it?
And then apparently Udogie, who's already on a yellow card, is doing this. So people then say, well, you can't do that. It's not, if you do that motion, you should get booked.
Yeah.
Jota, what was daft? Jota was on a booking and then just hacked a player down and got a definite second yellow, but should have been on the first. But
is Jota a player who, when Jurgen Klopp picks him, it's to do a specific job? So sometimes you see attacking players. You've got 5 attackers. You could probably play any combination of 3 and they'd be effective. When you're going forward and looking great, you're at home or something like that, then it doesn't really matter. But I think Jota's a player that maybe Jurgen Klopp picks for away games like that, when they've got to do a lot of tracking back and make those sort of... Is he better at tracking back than the other forwards, or no? I'm just imagining this.
Possibly that might be his best thing because of all of them. Well, Salah's obviously the constant. He's going to play out on the right. Yeah. If you want to have that threat in behind, you're always going to go with Darwin Núñez because he just causes havoc.
Yeah.
So you can play on a break. Gakpo, who started against Spurs, is there to sort of do the Firmino, hold it, drop deep. So I think he helps give a bit more control over the pitch. So Jota's a little bit in between, I think. He's got some pace, but he also will get dragged back.
I think he's a sort of. I could be completely wrong on this. I think he's a player that a manager would be able to tell to make fouls. In a sense, like, stop this guy, stop him however we need to, and just stop him in subtle ways, and stop him if you need to foul him. And we'll take a risk that he's not going to get booked because it's Jota. He's a little guy. He's you can just say, got in the way, sort of thing. And on this occasion, his little fouls. Because I do think the first one on Dogi, I know it looks like he falls over his own feet, but he doesn't. He gets clipped. He's run across him, and his legs go together like that, and that's what brings him down. I do think that was a foul. Debatable whether it was a yellow card or not, but it's stopping a counter attack. So I don't see that was a terrible decision.
Yeah, I suppose. He does fall over his own feet, but why does he fall over his own feet? Because he's taken a bit of contact before then.
I think so, yeah. They're actually appealing that one, aren't they? So I don't know what's going on. Oh, no, it was the Jones one.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, I think if you ask 100 people about the Jones one, you'll get 50-50 maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. First half coming to a close, and no further goals after the quick double strike from Chelsea midway through the half, but they've got a chance now from a free kick. This is maybe not a shot.
Mudryk out on the left, bursts into midfield, and then he gets clipped as he lays the ball off. That's Palhinha doing the job.
Yeah, he's always a good one for a card, usually.
Yeah. So it's too far out to shoot. So, we think it is. Mudryk's over it. Maybe he fancies this. Maybe he could just be one of those ones he just hits it low and hard, hoping the keeper parries it out to somebody coming in to tap it home. Or will he just float it into the far post?
I think with a goal...
he's gone for the floater.
Okay.
It's headed into the air.
Fulham are ready for it.
Yeah.
In fact, it was an offside as well.
So that came to nothing.
Back to the drawing board with that free kick.
Yeah, not too great. Yeah, it's kind of drifted a little bit, hasn't it, this game? I think when Chelsea went bang, bang, Fulham haven't responded, and Chelsea looked fairly comfortable.
That's a nice...
Really?
Yeah. So that was Broja with a very good turn on Diop. Diop just got his position in front of Broja there, I suppose.
Good defending, I guess. Like he'd been turned, but he...
Yeah. And he didn't fight him off with his hands. He just put his body in the way.
Chelsea Fulham try and break down the left to Anthony Robinson, but Cucurella playing at right back gets something in the way.
I do think we are in danger of seeing Premier League football become something that isn't great to watch because of the fouls are being interpreted. When there's any little bit of contact, we're expecting a foul, we're expecting a free kick, and the players are as well. I think there has to be an element of, there can be some physical contact, and that speaks of the Liverpool game on Saturday, where he's saying, should there really have been 6 yellow cards plus 2 reds for Liverpool, or was it, was there a bit of a, once the referee had given the first one, he set himself up there for a really, for that it has to be consistent, but then just use your common sense. Nobody wants to see a game like that, really.
There's one where Salah was sort of thrown down the right, and he sort of beats his man, and eventually, after a bit of a tussle, just sort of outstrengths him, and then he's pulled back. He does sort of rest his hand on him, and then he gets pulled back, and I think Salah's so annoyed because he thinks he's just out-muscled him, and it's free kick, and he sort of goes, and then he gets booked for that, and it's like,
Yeah.
There was a lot wrong with that game, in my eyes. Well, a lot of frustrating things in my eyes. It did all seem to be one way. And when clearly you have a goal. What a shame, because it was such a good finish. Have you seen the actual... It's a brilliant finish by Luis Diaz. And that's when Liverpool had... when your team's gone down to 10 men, you think, this could be tough. So to get that goal, to be 1-0 up with 10 men, it's a lot different to being 1-0 down with 10 men, isn't it?
Yeah. Do you think Liverpool will be able to shake it off and just...
Depends how we use it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Could be one of those ones. It's almost...
Could be a chance at Fulham? No, good save.
Comes out.
Yeah.
In a funny way, the fact that they did concede a sort of bonkers own goal in the sort of 96th minute just sort of added up to the feeling it wasn't your day. I think if somehow we'd got a 1-1 draw, I don't know, the sort of outrage wouldn't have been as much, because clearly then you think, well, this has cost us. Our goal has been wiped off and we've lost.
It was on a day when Manchester City lost as well. So, I think a draw would have taken you within 1 point of Man City at the top of the table.
Yeah. But I think if it's used right, all these managers can use it as fuel, can't they? So we've got done there. The camp tightens up even further.
Yeah.
We'll show them next time. Next time, by the way, is against Brighton. That'll be an interesting game.
At home?
I might be at Brighton. I'm just going to check that. Because what were they doing losing 6-1?
They were... I didn't see the game, but I thought Villa would win that one. I thought it'd be too physical for them. I think they can be got at with...
Yeah, we're away at Brighton.
Physicality. So Jota wouldn't have played against Brighton anyway, because you go with, probably your more physical forwards in that one.
Yeah. I think Darwin Núñez will play that one.
Yeah. And they're susceptible to balls behind. Basically, that's what Villa were doing all the time. Ball in behind. Watkins up front, Diaby, pace, like that. So, yeah, Liverpool just used Núñez to do that, to the same thing.
Although since De Zerbi's come to England, he's had Klopp's number, to be fair.
How many times have he played?
3.
Really?
There was that 3-3 draw. I think it was his first game in charge. That 3-3 draw at Anfield when Trossard got a hat-trick.
Yeah.
Then they hammered us 3-0 in the Premier League when we were just abysmal, and then they beat us in the FA Cup as well at Brighton. But that was last season when we were terrible. Half-time anyway here.
It is half-time. So, yeah, half-time in our feature game tonight, the Premier League match, Fulham 0, Chelsea 2. And can Chelsea hold on? Can they get the win that this first half performance so far has totally deserved? We are 1 goal away from the free bet condition. We're also five yellow cards away. I think that's less likely to land for the free bet condition, but I only need one or the other, and then I'll be asking you a question at some point in the second half, probably within 5 or 10 minutes of the third goal going in. And the first 10 to get the correct answer in via the usual channels will be the recipients of a 10 USDT free bet, courtesy of sportsbet.io. But myself and Dave are going to have a little break now during the half-time interval and think about bets for the second half. While we're doing that, you can enjoy the dulcet tones of... let's go with this guy, Kanu.
So it is a very special Behind the Bet with sportsbet.io from the home of Arsenal Football Club, Emirates Stadium. My name's Gavin from Clubhouse TV, and this is Kanu, and we've got to Behind the Cause. This is where we're going to give a €500 donation to the charity of your choice, which of course is the Kanu Heart Foundation, which helps children in Nigeria with cardiac diseases they can obtain and receive life-saving surgery within and outside Nigeria. Launched in 2000, and the foundation has helped over 500 children, spending over a reported $4 million. So these children can receive open heart surgery in hospitals around the world. Of all your achievements on the pitch, they are pale into insignificance, really, with what you've done off the pitch with this. Tell me about that, because this is just terrific.
Yeah, I always say to people that, winning trophies, of course, you worked hard for that, and you win trophies to show what you have done, what you have worked hard for. But all this is to do with life, and it's, for me, the most important. If a kid, let's say 7 years, even 2 years, or 8 years, or 5 years, 4 years, having a heart problem, I went through it. I know how difficult it is and how painful it is. But if you have those kids of such age going to go for an open heart operation, which means you have to open the heart to do the operation. Definitely it's going to be difficult for them. But we pray for them. We wish they're going to make it. Some of them, they don't make it, but most of the ones that we have done, it was successful. Not only that, it's also difficult even to get the funds for checkups. And that is where the foundation comes in, because we all took care of them from the medical side, from the checkups to where they are traveling to, and the operation, and bringing them back as well. It's very expensive. We started in Great Ormond Hospital in London. Was in pounds, was very high. We did first 3 operations when we started. We have to move to Israel. That was in dollars. And somebody have to tip us and told us India was much better and more cheaper, and they're good as well. So we went to India and we started in India, and up to today we are still doing our operations in India. But the most important thing here is that when you do have that problem with the heart, the kid is not going to be the same anymore. You look at the eyes, most of them are red. Sometimes they don't smile at all. It's not that they don't want to smile, but they have issues with the heart. They don't smile. They don't play with other kids. They don't play along. They keep on crying. I remember the first 3 that we operated here. When I went to them and I saw them, 2 of them came to the foundation for help. One came to me when we were playing the African Nations Cup in 2000 with the mom. And the mom came, they were on the lift. I was on the lift with them. They said, they're looking for me. I said, that's good. Why? They said, we know that you are starting the foundation. I want my daughter to be the first that you're going to help. I said, So what's wrong? He says the heart. And immediately he says the heart, the girl fainted. We have to rush to get to the hospital. Thank God it didn't die. And I promised the mom that she's going to be one of the first kids you're going to help. And we took her to London. After the operation of the tray, and I went to visit them, you can see the whole hospital knew they were there. They were running around, they were happy. The eyeballs changed back to blue. You can't control them. They are eating. They were okay again. So I was very, very happy. And I think only that can tell you the kind of relief and happiness that we follow when you see somebody who are about to die and then you saved him.
You literally see them coming back.
Yeah, to life again. And foundation have done, from 2000 till now, we have done 680 open heart operations. So we are still going because we have a lot on the waiting list. We have almost like 100 on the waiting list. Because everyone now knew about the foundation. And if you have any little problem with the heart, the phone calls are keep ringing. Everybody wants you to help. And Nigeria is a very big country. You can help everyone.
Absolute respect for you.
Thank
Honestly,
you.
It's just an amazing achievement. So what we're going to do, I'm going to ask you, it's a little bit of fun. I know it's a serious subject, but we're going to have a little bit of fun as well. Because I'm going to ask you 10 questions. It's a bit of a Carnu quiz. And for every question you get right, we're going to add €50 to the 500 that's already going. That's already sorted, okay? So there's a chance to double your money, okay? Some of these questions will just be about football. A lot of these questions are literally just about you. Are you ready to play?
Okay.
You ready?
Yep.
You ready?
Yep.
So you're looking, aren't you?
No, I'm not looking.
Looking, isn't he? Hey? Right, you ready? Question number 1. What was your shirt number at Arsenal?
My shirt number at Arsenal, 25.
Is the right answer. That's an extra €50. Okay. Question number 2. Who did you score your first Arsenal goal against? I can give you some clues if you want.
No, difficult. No, I can't get.
Do you want some clues?
Okay.
Begins with the letter D, and it was in the FA Cup. Starts with D, and ends in Derby County? Just say Derby County.
I know the club, but
Yeah.
you mean the goalkeeper?
No, they're just a team.
Oh, is Derby County?
Yeah, Derby County.
No, but if I thought it's the goalkeeper, because if we have to replay the game.
Yeah. Well, we'll allow that one anyway. We'll allow that as 50. Just say Derby County for official records.
Derby County.
There's the right. Okay. Question number 3. Spell Carnu backwards. Spell your name backwards, Carnu.
UNAK.
That's €150 now. That's 3 questions correct. Some of them are tougher than that, by the way. Okay, this one might be a tough one. Who was, question number 4, who was the first ever Nigerian footballer to play in the Premier League?
John Fashion.
Wasn't. It was a guy called Efen Ikoke.
Oh! If I played before John.
Yeah. No, John Fashioner was English.
No, he's Nigerian.
He's English, isn't he, John Fashioner? Oh, we need an
He's
official
li-
adjudicator.
He's
We
living,
need an official adjudicator.
he's living in Nigeria now.
Yeah, but I believe John Fashioner played for him and represented England. So the answer was Efen Ikoku. So that's question number 4. This is question number 5. So at the moment you've got €150 on top of the 500. Okay. So in the season you joined Arsenal, who was sent off the most in that season in the Premier League? Emmanuel Petit or Martin Keown?
Emmanuel Petit.
You sure?
Martin Keown.
No! Don't change your answer.
Okay, Emmanuel Petit.
It's the right answer. It was Manu Petit.
Because I know. He keep kicking people.
Okay. Right, here we go. Another question about Arsenal. So you're up to €200 now. So it's €700 so this is question number 6, okay? Who was Arsenal's top goal scorer in the season you joined Arsenal Football Club? Who was the leading top scorer?
Aneka.
Is the right answer with 19 goals in 45 appearances. So I make that as up. You're 250 at the moment. Okay. So you're doing very well. This is question number 7. You made your debut for Nigeria against which country?
Sweden.
No hesitation whatsoever. You're up to €300. I think you've got every single one right, apart from Efen Ikoku. Okay. You played for West Bromwich Albion in the Premier League. 5 other football teams, starting with the letter W, have played in the Premier League. Can you name 4 of them?
Wolves.
Is one. There's another one in the Premier League right now that starts with W.
West Ham.
West Ham, yep. 2 more. In fact, you scored against one of these. They kind of don't exist anymore, but you did score against these in the Premier League. I think you scored at home at Highbury against them. Oh, no, you did score at Watford.
Yeah.
But this team doesn't really exist anymore. Not in this current, in the guys that they were. You scored against them at Highbury, and you scored against them at their place as well. Do you want a clue? Starts with W.
Wimbledon.
Yes! Yes, Wimbledon is the right answer. The other one for the record was Wigan Athletic.
Oh.
Yeah. So what was that? Question 8 up to €350. Right, question number 9. Name 2 Nigerian players in the Premier League right now.
Iwobi.
Yep. Alex Iwobi plays for Everton. And another one.
Kelechi Iheanacho.
is the right answer for Leicester. It could have had Tayo Iwaniwi, who plays for Forest, Emmanuel Dennis, who also plays for Forest, Frank Onyeka for Brentford,
Ndidi.
Joe Aribo for Southampton,
And Didi.
and Wilfred Ndidi. But you've got 9 questions so far, 8 right, 450 euros. So it's 400 euros, sorry. Question number 10. Who did you score your last goal against for Arsenal? They're still in the Premier League.
Let's go for Arsenal.
Starts with E.
Everton.
Yeah, there isn't many more, is there? Well done. You got 9 out of 10 right. You got an extra 450 euros. That's 950 euros going to the Carnew Heart Foundation. So well done.
That's a pass. That's a pass mark.
Hey?
9 out of 10.
Well done.
9 out of 10. That's a pass.
Covering every game of the English Premier League, Champions League and Europa League, live as they happen. This is Clubhouse TV.
Well, welcome back. Perfectly timed. Thanks, Carno. Thanks, Gav. We are ready for the second half of our feature game tonight. Fulham 0, Chelsea 2. It's myself, Simon, with Dave T, Professor T, in the studio. And, well, what do you reckon then for the second half? Fulham have been 2-0 down on only one previous occasion this season. And it didn't go well for them after that point. They lost 3-0. Something like that, maybe, for the second half?
Yeah, I'm just seeing if there's any half-time substitutions. Chelsea are bringing on... Who's that then?
That is Ian Martson. I think that's how Joe pronounces it. He was at Burnley last season.
Yes. So no Raheem Sterling yet. He's still in his big coat. So yeah. Maatson is coming on for...
Could be anybody, because Pochettino loves this guy, and he plays him all over the place. So he's nominally a left-back. He won't be coming on as a left-back here, I don't think, unless Colwell's injured.
Let's have a look. He's taken off number
20. 10.
Can't be... Well, on he comes. Someone's gone off, but we're not quite sure who as yet. Brozier's still there, not him. Come on, let us know who's gone off. Maybe they've just brought on 12 men.
Mudryk's still there, I think, as you'd expect. Martson's gone over to the left wing, so he's in front of Colwell. So who was playing there in the first half?
Cole Palmer?
No, he's still there as well.
Did you see, when they came off, Pochettino was sort of giving instructions to Cole Palmer for about a minute. He was just sort of talking him through stuff. We'll find out.
Had enough of Guardiola doing that to him for the last few years. It is Gallagher, is it? Is it Conor Gallagher who's gone off?
Could be a decent shout.
Can't see him, which might mean it was an injury. Anyway, a change for Chelsea. Does it change the scoreline? Do Fulham... I mean, I don't think they get back into this game based on what we've seen in the first half, but
no.
they could improve.
They could improve, yeah. It's.
Imarios is saying it was Mudryk. So maybe I misidentified Gallagher as Mudryk. Yeah, it is Mudryk. So Gallagher's there.
Might have been. You wouldn't have thought he would have taken Mudryk off now that he's got a goal. Then maybe he did have a little niggle of something. Who knows? Yeah, Chelsea to score the third goal, 2.24. Fulham to score it, 2.48. And I normally sort of gloss over the third element of that when it's none. But I don't know, it wouldn't totally surprise me if this did end 2-0. Because it's just sort of, it suits Chelsea, and I'm not sure Fulham have got the kind of firepower and wherewithal to get back into it. It was always a very Jose Mourinho scoreline 2-0, wasn't it? You get the first, get to 2-0, that'll do.
And I suppose by bringing on a second left back, I know he can play further forward in Martin, but you bring in on ostensibly a left back for a left winger, does maybe suggest that Pochettino's thinking of protecting this lead more than going for a third goal.
Yeah,
it's possible that Maatson can still contribute in an attacking sense, but if you're just looking for a little edge here on your bets, then that might be one to follow. Is Pochettino now thinking of shutting this down as opposed to going for more goals?
And obviously, for it to stay 2-0, there's different markets that reflect that. So no third goal is 3.8. Sometimes you can find a better one. You see, the correct score of 2-0 is 3.55. So have a look around there, because the same thing is differently priced for some reason. But I think the best way of doing no further goals is none for third goal, which is coming down by the minute, 3.75. A little chance there for Chelsea. Broja got a header over the bar. It might have been a decent chance, this. Is it Cole Palmer out on the right wing, swings it in with his left?
Yeah.
A decent-ish chance. He just got too much of his head on it. It was a nice little ball in, but he needed more of a flick than a big sort of meaty header.
It was quite an intelligent little ball in that, wasn't it? He's picked out a player rather than just tried to hit an area with his cross, and Broja couldn't quite produce the goods, but Chelsea still on the attack.
Broja 7 to score the third goal of the game. Palmer, who put that cross in, he is 9.9. Others you might look at. Enzo Fernandez, 14. Ian Matson, who's come on, he's 14 as well. Raul Jimenez, 7.5. Willian, former Chelsea man, of course, 12.5. Harry Wilson, not really seen much of him at all, 10.5.
Ian Martin, by the way, hasn't scored as yet for Chelsea, senior team that is. Last season at Burnley, 4 in 38. That was in the Championship, 4 goals in 38. So very much sort of left-back stats, those, aren't they, really?
Yes, indeedy. I wonder what... Definitely Gallagher's gone off, yeah?
No, Mudryk gone off. Mudryk.
Yeah, right, I was going to say, because Gallagher's quoted there, yeah. 15.5 for Conor Gallagher to score the third goal. Not the worst price, maybe.
No, it's hard, isn't it? Because there's no, apart from Broja, maybe there's no sort of standout candidate to get the next Chelsea goal. I think it could be any one of about 4 or 5, and Gallagher would be in that group. But I think we're kind of ruling out a Fulham option in the next goal scorer because he's just not shown anything, have they?
Absolutely nothing going forward. So Chelsea to score the third goal is 2.26. Another way of backing that, and it doesn't have to be the third goal, is just to back another Chelsea goal. So if you go down to Chelsea FC total, over 2.5 Chelsea goals is 1.8. If you think they'll go a bit mad and score over 3.5 goals, that's 5. And if they really go to town and whack 5 past Fulham, that's 19. I think we might be getting carried away with that. Maybe by
I just wonder if we mentioned it earlier, the banter they've been getting from the pizza company.
Yes.
I just wonder if that's stuck a little bit in their craw, and Chelsea are thinking, well, we'll show you. We'll not just score 2 tonight at Fulham. We'll score plenty.
Yeah.
You know, stick that pizza down your throat. I'll see how you like that.
There's your team talk. Pochettino just shows the picture.
Well, yeah.
They're taking the mickey out of you.
Yeah.
So we'll see, yeah.
I don't know. I think Chelsea have got the appetite for more goals. It's whether this team, who have struggled to put the ball in the back of the net consistently this season, can forget themselves and remember that they scored 2 tonight and there's more goals out there for them. Fulham just having a bit of a chance to play around outside the Chelsea box now.
Yeah, a rare touch in the Chelsea box, that. It comes to nothing, but it comes back in from Anthony Robinson, headed away. They've just shown so little, haven't they, Fulham? So their last home game against Palace, where it was 0-0, it was just like absolutely dreadful. Yeah.
So Fulham are going to still be in 13th place. Even a defeat keeps them in 13th. They've got 8 points so far. They'll be above Brentford, Wolves, Everton, Luton, Bournemouth, Burnley and Sheffield United, any 3 of which could go down. But I think you have to say at the moment, Fulham are more likely to be in the relegation mix than they are in the shake-up for top 10. Yeah,
it doesn't look like last season. Last season was all a bit of an exciting bonus, and they got off to a really good start and just kept sort of riding the wave. And they had Mitrovic scoring goals, other players who were kind of playing above expectations. But yeah, now it looks like Well, any team who can't score a goal, it's just as soon as you go one down, you think, right, this could be a problem. They've sort of got no get out of jail cards. But one goal attempt tonight is terrible, isn't it?
It is for a derby as well against a team who you should be busting a gut to show something else. Is it second season syndrome? Does that exist for you?
Is it their second season?
Yeah.
Is it?
Last season there was the first season up.
I've got them as more established than that, yeah.
Well, Mitrovic scored 40-odd, didn't he, in the Championship? And they got them up.
Right,
and then he got most of the goals last season as well.
Yeah, it could be. Sheffield United suffered that in a bad way, didn't they? They really overperformed for the first season back and then just couldn't get anything going.
I think Leeds, were they a second season syndrome last season?
I think they got away with it, didn't they?
Oh, did they?
I think it was, but only just. I think didn't they win at Brentford on the final day?
Oh, yeah,
but it was a difficult second season. Yeah. Right, the ghost is up for Raul Jimenez.
Yeah.
No effect on the game. So Vinicius has come on. I think it's a double substitution, actually. Harry Wilson with his sort of strange
his grandma's hair, basically.
It's sort of grandma stroke catwalk model. Sort of odd mix.
Yeah.
He's off.
And Alex Iwobi.
Iwobi's coming on.
Yeah.
Forgot Iwobi was at Fulham.
Well, they've brought on some goals there, actually, because I seem to recall that Vinicius scored recently. I think it was in the Cup.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Iwobi scored in that same game. So last week, as Fulham were beating a third-string Norwich side 2-1 in the Cup, Vinicius and Iwobi both scored. Now they're on a sub, so maybe they can translate their Cup goals to the Premier League.
Yeah, if you think that'll make the difference. Fulham to score the third goal is 2.74. Just seeing if those players... Yes, those players have come on to the play to score the next goal market.
Vinicius actually scored in his last two Fulham home games. He scored against Luton as well, the winner.
Right. Well, Vinicius is 7.8 to score the next goal. Iwobi is 14.
Chance maybe for Chelsea, though, to wrap it up as they're on the attack.
Iwobi comes back, actually, and wins the ball, although Chelsea managed to nick it back. All going a bit scrappy. No one can keep hold of the ball. Cole Palmer tries a shot. Down to the keeper's right. Leno makes the save. Other markets then. Corner kicks. Chelsea haven't had a corner yet, actually. 4 corners to 0 in favour of Fulham. If you look at those race to markets.
Oh, another yellow.
Well, I'm about to say yellow cards and need to update that one. So that's the...
second, I think.
Who's it gone to?
Cole Palmer. He left a little dig in on Robinson.
Right, so... Cucurella in the first half, Palmer in the second half. Yeah, so just 2. Palmer, who just had a shot a little bit earlier.
Yeah, a few negative comments coming on the Clubhouse TV Telegram. Slissy says, will it end 0-2? Yeah. And Trachini says, won't be surprised if this game ends 0-2.
Yeah.
Silko says, imagine if it ends like this. And then he says, I still love you, Simon. I think he's talking about the service, not me. I don't know. I don't know if I want to confirm that or not, but the service, Clubhouse TV, we all love it. And will it be 0-2? That would be a... There's still the yellow cards, though. If we get 4 more cards of any colour from here onwards, that would still be the condition landed as well.
Well, that was a bit brighter. So Anthony Robinson charges down the left, gets the cross in it, beats the keeper, and then Iwobi, the sub, is at the back post, sort of doesn't really do anything with it, just diverts it back across to nobody. But he was in space in the box. So maybe those substitutions might just change the dynamic a little bit.
Yeah.
It couldn't be any worse, could it, for Fulham in an attacking sense?
It was quite a good signing, wasn't he, Iwobi? Because he was basically one of Everton's best players the last year and a half. And, to get him at Fulham,
yeah,
it was a good signing. Does he fit into this team at the moment, though? Maybe he needs his position to be a little bit better defined.
I always thought that at Everton for a while. What's he doing? Where is he? But then he did settle down, didn't he? And was one of their
Sean
better
Dyche,
performers.
Turned him into a central midfielder, really, didn't he? And said, right now, you'll get more touches. You'll affect the game more here rather than playing out on the left as he was, I think.
I remember Barney Ronay in The Guardian wrote a piece about him, just saying if ever there's a player who just sort of wanders around playing football like with a sausage roll in his hand, sort of Iwobi, just sort of casually. But then he just seemed to sort of up his game at Everton. I quite liked him at Arsenal.
Another yellow. Thanks for spotting that one to Chew. Chew showed the yellow card on the Telegram there. Navidart, hi Navidart. He's saying, what's the condition? It is either over 2.5 goals or over 5.5 cards. So we need a third goal or we need a sixth card. At the moment, obviously you can see it's 2 goals and 3 cards.
He just sort of whacks him over the
Yeah,
head.
that was assault, wasn't it?
On Thiago Silva. And then he sort of pushes him, saying, I'm not sure. Thiago Silva's done a lot wrong there. Do we ever mark it on red card?
Yes, yeah, we do, I think. I'm not sure if it's currently live. It was at the start of the game. I think it was 4.4 for a red card at the start of the game. At the moment, no, not a live market, that one. But if you were involved at 4.4, you'd be interested now.
Just sort of a bizarre karate chop on his head.
Yeah.
Strange. Yeah, over 5.5 bookings, 1.91.
Chewy's saying that it's 4 yellows because Pereira's just got booked as well. So Chewy's our yellow card correspondent at the moment. He's spotting them before we are.
Wow.
It is. I think it's four cards. 1, 2, 3. So
Pereira, when was that
Cucurella.
one? Yeah, Pereira just... Has this just happened?
It just came up on the caption at the top of the screen, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. So that's 3 yellows in the last 4 minutes for Palmer, Vinicius for karate chopping, and then Pereira for what's been deemed unsportsmanlike conduct.
Yeah, it was Carlos Vicious, wasn't it? That's
very good, yeah.
Chop on the back of the neck. So that's good news if you're on the free bet condition, because we now need 2 more cards or 1 more goal, and that will hopefully happen even if Chelsea can't score a third. Fulham are having a good go now with Vinicius and Iwobi. The subs linking up. Shot is blocked though.
I think Cards has gone favourite now in that.
Does
which
it?
one lands first?
Yeah.
Got a full half hour left of niggly action.
Drakini said Robinson is on fire. Ref on fire.
Yeah,
that's what we need.
Well, Tim Robinson. I didn't see the Pereira one, but the Vinicius one was easily like the most obvious yellow I've ever seen.
Maybe it was dissent. I don't know.
He gets booked every game, doesn't he? Marco Silva, I think.
Yeah.
I think he got booked in his first 4 games.
He did. Yeah.
Did he have a ban then? Because Pep was banned, wasn't he, at the weekend?
Yep.
Pep was sat up in the crowd.
I'm not sure how many yellows you have to get for a manager to get the ban.
You do wonder with Pep, because he's not down there sort of conducting the orchestra, whether him just being sat sort of motionless in the stands just takes a few % off City's performance, maybe.
Possibly. I mean, he did miss a few games, didn't he? And they won the games when he wasn't on the bench at all. When he wasn't at the ground at all. He was.
Yeah. But they didn't look brilliant in those games.
Sheffield United was one, wasn't it, where they needed a very late winner in that one.
Yeah, it's like the players almost think, well, he's not here to badger me, so I won't make that.
Yeah.
That run back. Because if we don't fight, we lose. There you go, Koki. Waiting for it.
Yeah. Teed him up there. And got a Marco Silva impression? No, it's a difficult one, isn't he, Marco Silva? Has he actually ever said anything notable?
He's got that sort of general Portuguese accent. It's probably...
Right. Yeah.
There's probably dialects within Portugal I haven't quite learned yet. It's like Ten Hag's is a little bit sort of more guttural, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not as smooth as like Louis van Gaal. Well, Louis van Gaal could be quite guttural, but Ten Hag, I don't know which part of the Netherlands he's from, but it's quite a harsh accent he's got.
Yeah. Did you hear Serena Wiegman was compared to Louis van Gaal in a press conference? I think that's a very flattering comparison for the England manager. I don't know. I think because he's I don't. She's been quite ruthless with some of her selections, hasn't she? Players that were cornerstones prior to her getting the job of been jettisoned from the team, the squad, what have you, and I think that maybe she was... Oh, is this a... Oh, what was Sanchez doing there? He gets away with a horrendous error. He's just passed it to a Fulham player on the penalty spot, and it's bounced off the Fulham player straight back to him. That could easily have been 3-0.
I just sort of saw the tail end of that. Now Chelsea with a chance. Oh, I've hit the post.
No! Ian Maatsen has hit the woodwork.
Well, could have had a goal at either end there. Drama. Will they replay it to the this? No, they're just showing the Chelsea one at the minute. So Brohag sort of beats a couple of men, lays it off.
He does well, actually. Doesn't he?
Yeah, plays it inside. It's reversed from Conor Gallagher, and Maatsen sort of opens up his foot, hits the post. The ball comes back to Enzo Fernandez, and the keeper makes a decent save. Just makes himself big.
All right, we've got a little bit of a debate about whether there are 4 or 3 yellows at the moment, because apparently one was on the bench. So,
Pereira's gone off, has he? Who could be on the bench, though? I've got Cucurella, definitely, Cole Palmer, Vinicius and Pereira.
No, Pereira's still on, isn't he?
Yeah.
No, yeah, they're all still on the pitch. That's 4. It's fine. It's fine. It's 4 yellows.
Here comes Raheem Sterling.
Yeah, Raheem the Dream.
Can he come on and get a goal and just finish this game off?
I know. It's been 2-0 since the 20th minute, I think. So 43 scoreless minutes of football, which is kind of what we expected when we started. We thought it'd be a low-scoring game, and it may still turn out to be a low-scoring game if 2.5 is the cut-off point for a low-scoring game. Anybody out there having a saver? Because if you think you might get a free bet, then the way to guarantee something there is to take the under 2.5, as Dave has been on since the start of the game.
Yeah, still alive, that.
And you still might get the free bet if we get 6 bookings.
Yeah. Brozier, who scored the second goal, I think he's the one making way for Raheem Sterling. Don't know whether he's taking a little knock or whether they're just nursing him a little bit. Anyway, here comes Sterling.
Been out for a while, hasn't he? He was at ACL.
Yeah.
I think it's more or less a year out with an ACL, so you're not going to give him 90 minutes on his first go.
No. Chelsea have a corner.
Rare corner as well.
Headed over the bar.
Their first corner of the game.
Yeah. Got Sterling in my fantasy team, so I really count on him being a substitute tonight, but still a chance to get a goal.
Is there a glitch in the bookings market? That's the debate on Telegram at the moment. Slitty saying odds is 2.36 for over 5.5 cards. I've got 4.5 cards on my console. Maybe I need to refresh that one. But yeah, is there a slight glitch?
Yeah, I've got over 4.5. You wouldn't have thought, well, what are we now, 65 minutes? That looks like the market for 3, doesn't it?
Doesn't it? But there is definitely 4 cards have gone to players on the pitch. The Pereira one has not been replayed, has it? Whether maybe it's caught somebody out there at Sportsbet Towers who didn't see it because he just got flashed up on.
We didn't see it, but maybe just giving a bit of that to the ref.
But I'm sure they monitor the same websites that we do that are clearly saying there's been 4 yellow cards in this game. So maybe the total bookings market is a little bit of a contentious one at the moment. Might be best to steer clear of that one if you want to have a clear picture.
I think there might be some confusion about Vinicius.
Okay. He was definitely booked when he came onto the pitch because
I've got another source where Vinicius doesn't have a yellow next to his name, but Pereira does.
Oh, okay.
So I think this source is the Press Association source, which would go to lots of outlets.
Yep. That's right. So somebody
I can't believe that.
No,
because we saw him just go like that.
Yeah, Vinicius must have been booked.
Yeah.
Absolutely must have been booked for that. You can't get away with that. So let's assume it's 4, and let's assume the Press Association have missed one of those yellow cards, and they're misinforming all the outlets that they have to feed.
Because just reading, Apparently, they even checked the Vinicius one to be a red card on VAR.
Right.
It was that sort of
Yeah.
dodgy.
Anyway, still 2-0. Do we get a third goal here? What do you guys think out there? A lot of negativity just at the start of the second half about whether we get a third or not. There's still some quality players. Raheem Sterling among them now, maybe with a chance on the edge of the box. Oh, it's handball.
Yeah, no third goal is 2.2, so that's now the favourite. Well, there's a yellow.
Yellow for Sterling for
great.
dissent. He's taken on Nicholas Jackson's mantle and got booked for talking back to the referee.
Great.
So, as far as we're concerned, here in the studio, that is the 5th yellow, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we're not going to do you guys out of a free bet just for this press association mistake, we think.
Because the one that doesn't seem to have been registered is the most obvious one of the night.
Yeah.
That was even checked for a red. Unless somehow it's being put on Pereira, but yeah, we'll count it as 5 so far. So we need, one more for the free bet to land? Is that right?
We have got 5 as far as I can see. Cucurella, Palmer, Carlos Vinicius, Pereira and Sterling. That's 5. We need one more for our free bet condition to be triggered. It's surely going to happen. I was a little bit dubious when Chelsea got that control with a 2-0 lead, but surely now with 20-something minutes left.
Yeah, there'll definitely be one. Fulham have stepped it up a bit. I think the substitutes have made a bit of a difference from an attacking sense. Vinicius has got involved. Iwobi as well. But Chelsea they've got 5 men strung across the back now. They just look well organised. And then Willian has his pocket picked and Chelsea just clear the ball.
Where do you think Chelsea finished this season then, sort of ballpark area of the Premier League?
It's very early days, and there's plenty of sort of chance to click and climb that table, and they will start.
No European football as well, so if they can click soon, they'll all through sort of autumn and early winter, there'll be an advantage over other teams, won't they?
Thing is, there's a lot of... So say you presume Man City... Of course you presume. You've got to presume then Tottenham are going to finish top 6. Arsenal will. Liverpool will. Then you've got others. So that's
Newcastle.
4. So we've named 4 already. Then you add in Newcastle 5.
Yeah.
Then you add in the kind of up-and-comers who are doing well, like Villa and Brighton. 6, 7.
Yeah.
West Ham, I saw at Anfield. I thought they were great.
Yeah.
8. Not even mentioned Man United yet.
No. Why would you at the moment?
So there's 9 teams already that Chelsea at the moment don't look as good.
Okay.
I know you're saying Man United, but that Chelsea, part of you wants to answer that question by going like 6th, but then who are they actually picking off?
Well, like I say, always maybe a chance here for Chelsea to get a third.
I think we've named everyone who could finish above them. And
Could a team like Aston Villa, although they're looking good at the moment, could they fall by the wayside? Because we know they call them Aston Sevilla, don't they, at the moment, because of the Monchi and the Emery connection. Could they get just totally wrapped up in the Conference League and just fall away at the end of the season?
They could, I guess. They could.
And likewise, Newcastle. You know, they're playing PSG this week. Who do they play after PSG? Because that's when you want to play Newcastle, isn't it? The week after that.
Dortmund, maybe?
No, I mean like in the Premier League.
In the Premier League. Yeah, I don't know. Shall I check?
Newcastle are away at West Ham next Sunday.
That's not easy.
No.
Because that'll come on the back of a home game with PSG. I mean, I suppose they did beat Sheffield United on the back of drawing 0-0 in San Siro.
And they beat them quite convincingly, didn't they?
Yeah.
But Sheffield United were absolutely abysmal.
They were, weren't they? Yeah. It was a bit of a freak game, that one. But good for Newcastle, though. Their first chance to show people that they can respond on the way of a Champions League game. But, yeah, they will. I'm sure that that workload will start to take a toll. I don't know, a Brighton, could they sort of collapse a bit? Do you think people could work them out?
I think we are watching them collapse right now, I would say. I think that game against Aston Villa, 6-1, I think it's the start of something. I think it's the start of the Brighton collapse.
I hope so, because we play them
well,
next.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's probably the worst game they could have right now for Brighton because, you'd be absolutely, after what's happened on Saturday.
Yeah, we'll be fuming. Yeah.
You come out red rag to a bull. They've beaten you last 3 times. They're in for a whooping, Brighton, I'm afraid. They are in for a whooping this weekend.
I do hope you're right. I do hope you're right. 73 minutes gone and that 2-0 scoreline is still there. We did say at the start of the half, 4.1 for there to be no further goals, and it's landing at the minute.
Deep cross. Cucurella concedes the corner, I think. Yeah. Corners are just creeping up again now towards a decent total. That's going to be 6-2, I think, in corners. 6-1, sorry, 6-1.
So the bookings market saying over 5.5, 1.91.
Right, it's caught up now.
Has it, though? I don't know.
Oh, maybe not. Because one more card for me to land at 1.9. Yeah.
I think it would be more. You'd need 2 more, wouldn't you?
So Silko says, come on, guys. It will come. It'll be 7 or 8 cards.
Yeah.
Hakan says should be. Yeah. Brahim agrees. Yeah, it will. 20 minutes to go. Fingers crossed says Bedri Hamza 93. So make sure that 93 is there twice. Yeah, it'd be unusual if we didn't have another card from here the way the game's gone.
Yeah, I think so. But I'm struggling to see another goal, though, to be honest.
No more goals in Italy. We're nearly done there as well between Fiorentina and Cagliari. Sounds like Fiorentina just said we're happy with 2-0 and killed it off from that point onwards. People might look at this Chelsea game and say, well, that's what they're trying to do. I don't think they have killed it off. I think there's still something in this for Fulham, though, as Vinicius gets a header in.
Bit weak, wasn't it? Just sort of like nodded it rather gently. We've had games in the Premier League. Well, 1. We've had 3 games in Italy. 3. We've had a game in Spain. In all those games, both teams to score has not landed.
Both teams scored no Monday then.
Yeah. So at the start, I was looking at that one. Both teams scored no. It was 1.99. It was another way of sort of cashing in on a low goal count.
The percentage this season of both teams score yes and no has been ridiculous, though. I think it's been quite a high in the Premier League, that is.
The no landing.
The no has been very rare in the Premier League. Yeah.
Yeah, because some of the bigger teams just sort of let one in, don't they? Quite often.
Liverpool, Man City, Man United had a lot of clean sheets at home last season. If you're going to get a both teams scored no now at Old Trafford, it's United not scoring. It is. I mean, it happened on Saturday, didn't it? Lukic is on, defensive midfielder. Is that going to win you the game, Fulham? Bringing on a defensive midfielder with 15 minutes to go. But maybe he's got nobody else.
Yeah, I think Vinicius and Iwobi was his let's try and score a goal card, which still might work, but they come forward now, Fulham.
Both teams have scored in 60% of the Premier League games this season, so it's 60-40 exactly at the moment.
Okay.
I thought it was more, actually, maybe more nearer 70, but apparently only 60.
That was another time. Anthony Robinson's getting forward from left back quite a lot. And I did notice then when he got into the box, there were 6 Fulham players in the box there.
Yeah.
Which is quite encouraging. They're sort of having a bit of a go. Let's have a look at a price for the Fulham goal. Fulham next goal is 4.2 for the third goal, or we just think there's going to be any Fulham goal. You'd probably go down to second half Fulham FC to score. That's 3.8.
Okay. Shop around, as you say. Find the best way of getting on the sort of thing that you want to happen or think that will happen.
Because that 3.8 is slightly bigger. Well, actually, no, it's not, because both teams to score is now 4.
Right.
So the same thing.
Sometimes the more well-known markets are where the better prices are because there's more, there's less of an edge for the sports bet, if you see what I mean.
As that one went to 4, the Fulham to score in the second half market went to 4.1. So it seems that one's always nudging just a little bit ahead.
Right. But anyway, they need to score. if either of those bets are going to land. And at the moment, they still haven't really tested Sanchez. Sanchez has gifted them an even better chance than they've created, and they couldn't take that.
There's Willian in the box.
Yeah. Oh, is that it? No, save.
Good chance.
Really good chance, and a very good save for Sanchez.
Who was that? Just got a little side foot to it. So it's Willian who plays little ball into the box. Nice turn and spin, and then just needs to put that.
I think it's Lukic who I was just
the man who's come
berating. Yeah,
it was 22 to score the next goal.
Wow. Chu-Char says, "What a save by Sanchez." Yeah, it was.
Yeah, he just stuck his boot out, didn't he? But yeah, Lukic, what a start that would have been. Some of the prices then for Fulham to score. Lukic is 22. You've got Willian at 14.5. You've got Vinicius at 10. Anthony Robinson at 52, if you fancy that. Iwobi 15.5. They're starting to sort of have a bit of pressure now, Fulham.
Yeah.
Chelsea look like they're just kind of hanging on to this now. Got lots and lots of men back.
We still haven't worked out who the Fulham penalty taker is either, have we?
No, I wonder if we've got...
They've not had a penalty this season.
No, so we don't know.
So, post Mitrovic, it's a little bit of a...
My guess from who's on the pitch, it might be Willian. Sure, I've seen him take penalties before.
Yeah.
He's
I mean,
14.
in this situation as well, against his former club, experienced player required, I'm sure he'd step up.
Yeah. 14 he is to score the next goal, the
Yeah.
third goal, if there is one.
If you're picking a team of over 35s in the Premier League, Willian's in it, isn't he? He's fantastic for that age. How's he carried on and been able to be that good late in his career?
Yeah, he just thought he would fizzle out about 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And
He went back to Brazil, didn't he? And then
he thought that's him done. And then he still looks like a sort of sprightly sort of 27-year-old.
Yeah.
Anthony Robinson down the left again. Can he? He miscontrols it.
He does. Tricchini says, I go for over 2.5. Fulham have started to push. So you've seen something?
Yeah, I think I might put a Fulham bet up, Feeling they might just nick one. In which case, just trying to find the best price on that one. It is the second half Fulham to score, and it's 4.4. So I'm going to put that in the chat now.
Really didn't think we'd still be waiting for the free bet condition to land at this stage of the game when Chelsea scored 2 goals in 2 minutes in the first half. But yeah, Fulham have stemmed the flow and now starting to push themselves. Maybe they are the better bet to score the next goal than Chelsea. A few of you thinking that. No Broja on the pitch now. Sterling looking like his usual wasteful self. Can Fulham get back into this game? Don't forget you can play the free or the Bet 366. Bet 366 available at the moment ahead of the EPL round 8. If you get all 6 correct scores, you get $100,000 worth in USDT. If no one predicts 6 correct scores correctly, prizes will be based on a leaderboard. Our leaderboard points are calculated as follows, with 5 points for every correct score predicted, 2 points for every match result, and 1 point for every correct over or under predicted. And the games in question this weekend: Burnley versus Chelsea, Manchester United versus Brentford, Brighton versus Liverpool, West Ham Newcastle, Wolves Aston Villa, and Arsenal versus Manchester City. So some really good games this weekend.
I didn't know that one was on this weekend. Who'd you fancy for that?
You know what? I might fancy Arsenal to
Yeah, City on a little bit of a dodgy run, aren't they? Out of the cup, which they always used to win, and then they lost at Wolves. Yeah, it's a tricky game that for them. Arsenal will be thirsting for revenge for that from last season.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, playing them at a good time as well. City just not. I mean, they've got a load of injuries, haven't they? I mean, no De Bruyne. The fact they've been so good without him, just remarkable, isn't it? But now there's 1 or 2 others going down, and you start thinking maybe they aren't the irresistible force they can be.
Yeah, and this is it's funny, they have sort of little runs of games. So this is they're in the middle of like an away trip. So they've lost the first away game at Newcastle. They've lost their next away game at Wolves. In midweek, they go away to Leipzig, and then they're away at Arsenal. It's quite a tough run, that, isn't it?
Yeah, I know in other sports, certainly in American sports like basketball and baseball, they do that quite a lot, don't they? And you do see that the odds when the team are in their sort of the multiple game of being away, it's just back the home team basically. That's what the odds suggest because it's obviously a slightly different landscape to the American sports than it is over here, but really they don't fancy teams that are on a really long string of away games.
Well, City are actually they're on a run of 6 away games out of 7. Their final away game in that streak is at Old Trafford.
Oh, let's hope
they're completely
absolutely
worn out by
that.
then.
Yeah, let's hope so.
Well, that comes after an away game at Young Boys, and then they play 5 of the next 6 at home. So maybe this is a good time to oppose them.
Well, there's Shad Khan, the Fulham owner. You can sit anywhere in the ground and he's sat in front of a post.
Got a restricted view seat.
Yeah, the owner's given himself a restricted view seat. That tells you all you need to know about what he thinks of Fulham. Fiorentina are scoring again.
Yeah. That one, that will make it 3-0 there. Can Chelsea make it 3-0? And where's this booking as well? Where's this last booking that we need?
Oh, that should still land, shouldn't it? Time wasting. Surely there'll be a time wasting yellow card, or
get the keeper booked.
Fulham still asking a few questions near the Chelsea penalty area. Go on, Willian, have a shot.
He does. Oh, hits it well, but Sanchez was well positioned and just caught it. Really.
Yeah.
But better from Fulham. If you're a Fulham fan, you think, well, where was this for the first hour? Why couldn't you have gone at it a bit more? You were sort of dying a slow death. The stats show I think they had 1 goal attempt in the first half. They've had 9 now, 9 goal attempts, 3 on target. Chelsea have had 11 goal attempts, 4 on target. Corner kicks 7-1 in favour of Fulham. So they've had the chances from set pieces, but not really done anything with it. And the yellow cards.
I think Vinicius has made a difference. Just having a focal point up there.
Yes.
Don't think Jimenez really
didn't get involved at all. Harry Wilson didn't get involved.
No. This could be a chance. Oh, decent defending.
Almost Sterling trying to get through the middle. But we've only got 5 minutes left. I don't think it'll be a huge amount of added time. Can't think of much that's a reason to have stopped the game at all. Yeah.
Chi and Hakan having a debate about whether either team have looked like scoring a third goal. Hakan saying if every team would score, looks like they're going to score, we would be millionaires. Quite right. There is, a lot of. How do you sort of, when you look at a game, how do you determine when a goal is coming? Is it just impossible, or do you have sort of little cues that you look at and think, there's something coming up here?
Yeah, obviously, sometimes the price is just the same. So, if you'd asked me halfway through the first half, is a Fulham goal imminent, you would have gone absolutely not. But because of the substitutions that they've made, the incentive, they've got to do something now. There's no point in just playing around anymore. And the fact Chelsea looked to have just stepped back maybe 10 yards. So inviting them.
Pochettino's substitutions have really
very much just to contain.
Yeah, totally told the story, haven't they? He's whatever he said at half time. The changes he's made have been to hold on to what they've got. Yeah,
I think they just need the win, don't they? Another corner for Fulham. Vinicius gets his head to it. We can only guide it up in the air.
Koki's begging the goalkeeper to do some time wasting. Come on, Sanchez. He says.
Marco Silva looks a bit kind of glazed-eyed, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So
Marco, where are you?
Yeah.
What are you looking at?
I think he was thinking about what he's going to have for his supper when he gets back.
Spotted a yellow card.
Yes.
Is it the time wasting? It is. It's time wasting.
Yeah, for Sanchez, we thought that would be the next one.
and Sanchez delivers. Yellow card, and that means... Well, went right down to the 86th minute. But thanks for staying with us, guys. You get your reward if you're in the first 10 to get the correct answer through Telegram, as we see it here in the studio. And if you get the answer correct, of course, then you'll be receiving that 10 USDT free bet. So
it's not a tough one.
No, it'll be an easy question. I've thought of the question right now. I'm not going to ask it right now. Well, actually, I'll give you a minute. I'll give you a minute to prepare. So, have a look at the game. Have a look at who scored in the game. Now you know where the question's going to go then. It's going to be about one of the goal scorers. As Fulham try and get one back and Chelsea defend their box. So don't put the answer in yet. Put the answer into the Telegram Clubhouse TV chat response when I press go, go, go. So I'll say go, go, go. One of the guys will come from the studio. And then the first 10 with the correct answer after that are going to be credited with a 10 USDT free bet sometime tonight. Okay, so the question is, who scored Chelsea's first goal? Who scored Chelsea's first goal tonight?
Simple as that.
Yeah. You got a bit of thinking time, and then a bit of typing time, maybe. A bit of time to get the answer. No, it doesn't matter if you don't spell it absolutely right, but as long as we can tell who you mean.
In Spain, by the way, just to sort of kill a bit of time while you're thinking, Las Palmas have been awarded a penalty with 6 minutes left, and they've tucked it away, it seems. So they're now drawing 1-1 with Celta Vigo.
Rafa will be gutted.
Yeah.
I'm just teeing you up for a Rafa Benitez impression.
I was just thinking about facts.
Facts. These are facts.
The club. This club. 1-1 there. So that's the first example of both teams to score landing tonight.
Okay.
In all the games across England, Italy and Spain.
Lots of correct answers flying in through the Clubhouse TV messages, and I think you've all got it right. Somebody...
Modric, is that a correct spelling of Mudrick? That's a stretch, isn't it?
I don't think he's in the top 10 anyway, but... That would have been... I would have to go to the judging panel to see whether Modric would have counted there.
Yeah.
But looking at this, after I went go, 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 so it's Lubo392, Timo, Jezuslaw, Slissy, Genetics, Silco, Koki, Hakan, Eagle, and Bedri Hamza 93. You were the first 10 to get the answer in. Well done. Congratulations. 10 USDT free bet should be credited to your account tonight. Use it wisely. Spend it wisely. And do join us again with the Champions League action on Tuesday and Wednesday night. We're with you from 5:30 on Tuesday for the early games, and then the nail-biting late games, including Galatasaray's trip to Old Trafford. Who else is playing tomorrow?
I don't know. Man City are playing on Wednesday. They're at Leipzig on Wednesday. I'll be in for that one.
Yeah.
5 added minutes
Yeah.
at Craven Cottage, so we're nearly done here, and Chelsea looks like they're going to see it through and get a much-needed 3 points.
That's right.
A fairly tame effort from Fulham. They've upped it a bit in the second half. I mean, they had that good chance for Modric, Lukic. Got Modric on the brain after that answer. That was their big moment, wasn't it, when he side-footed from inside the 6-yard box. Good save by Robert Sanchez. But apart from that, it's been fairly easy for the Chelsea goalkeeper. Chelsea have been a bit negative, I suppose. I suppose needs must. They just want to get these 3 points in the bag. They would move into 11th, 1 place below your boys, if they win this with 8 points. So that's something, I suppose. But yeah, it's got to start somewhere. They're going to start picking up points, and an away win in a London derby, that's good enough, really, as we've got 3 minutes to go.
Oh, Navidad has reminded me that you should write your username. I wasn't aware of this, Navidad.
Yes.
Nobody told me. So I couldn't remind anybody before the question went out there. So just if you were in the top 10, just write your username now, and then we can get the admin done. But remember for next time, please, everybody write their username before the answer. You had plenty of time to write it or not. I don't think it really made a difference to the first 10 that got in there. So as long as, if you're in that top 10, I think Lubo 392 is one of them. If you can just confirm what your username is, and then that will help us credit the free bet to your sportsbet.io account. Does that make sense?
Enzo Fernandez was trying to run the clock down by dribbling the ball between three players. He gets knocked over by Willian. He's up on his feet again now, and Chelsea are now just sort of passing it around. It's at the edge of the Fulham penalty area, killing time. They concede a free kick in the end, but 2 minutes left now, so just seeing this one out. Pochettino's still barking orders from the touchline. He'll want a clean sheet as well. He'll be more than happy with what he's seen. Marco Silva won't, though. So another sort of tepid home performance.
Yeah, I mean, pressure's going to start growing on Marco Silva. I mean, this was a game that perhaps they would have expected to get a point from against a struggling Chelsea side, but they've been completely outplayed for the most part. Second half, a bit of a response, but too little too late. And the next game, who do Fulham play next? Is it an easy one? Is it an easy 3 points? I doubt it, to be honest. It is. Sheffield United. Sorry, Gav.
Where at?
At home.
Bit of a clash here. Willian and
Caicedo
have gone down holding.
And he's holding his knee. Now, Caicedo, this looks bad.
His left knee.
Yeah.
Let's have a look.
Hopefully it's just like jarred a knee or something like that, but when it's a...
it doesn't look...
Oh. Sometimes a contact injury is better than a non-contact injury for the knee. But yeah, we've got a bit of a delay here.
Willian's just having his left leg stretched out a little bit.
Thanks for sending us your username there, Lubo392. There are more chances, of course. You guys know it full well. Tuesday and Wednesday with the Champions League. Thursday with the Europa League. Loads more chances to claim free bets with our service here. Clubhouse TV with sportsbet.io. We are proud partners of Newcastle and Southampton football clubs. Newcastle in action tomorrow in the Champions League.
Yeah, home to PSG. Mbappe will be up there. On the Tyneside. Enzo Fernandez is just coming off now.
Yeah.
Chelsea just running down the clock with a couple of substitutions. Just have to see if Caicedo's got up there or not.
Usually there's a lot of concern around a player who suffers a bad injury like that. The cameras aren't focusing on him at the moment. Hopefully he can get back up.
He was sort of like beating the turf a bit, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Well, they're going to pull him up.
Okay. He'd be all right then.
Yeah, they're going to just help him up.
His old Brighton teammate, Cucurella. He's going off anyway because Noni Madueke is coming on, I think.
Yeah. So he's on his feet. I think he's all right. It's a bit of a hobble. He's got strapping on his right leg already. But I think it was his left leg, was it? That was the problem.
It was his right, I think.
Because he got.
No, left. Yeah, right, left. Yeah.
He's not exactly walking great, is he, off the pitch? All a bit of a hobble. He sort of embraces Willian, who was involved in that tackle. I don't think anyone meant anything, but he's just...
Well, surely he's out of their European game in midweek now with that. Oh. I forget. Yeah, job done performance, though, from Chelsea second half, isn't it? Didn't get that third goal that we perhaps kind of expected when it went 2-0. But, Dave, your original bet, your best bet for the night is going to land.
It looks that way, yeah. I was sort of slightly given up on it after 20 minutes, but the sort of last 70 played out how I thought the entire match, where it's just Chelsea had that burst, didn't they?
2 goals in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
One was a bit of a gift from Tim Ream. But the first goal was really a good finish.
Good.
Yeah, it should give Mudryk some confidence.
Yeah.
Broja wasn't able to get one on his comeback, but he does look like he's got something different to Nicholas Jackson. Might be bring other players into the game a bit more.
If I was Fulham, I think I'd be playing Vinicius from the start. I think if anyone's going to replace Mitrovic, same sort of stature and big guy up front, he's the obvious pick, isn't he? I just think you need to give him a run in the team.
Yeah, I totally agree. Sometimes you wonder if it's the size of a guy's contract that's keeping him in the team. Jimenez probably on more money than Vinicius, so he was getting the starts. Whether that carries on. Sanchez going to get a clean sheet as well. Made some decent saves.
Yeah,
and landed as the free bet with his yellow card.
Yeah, and that's full time.
All over them. Yeah, finished at Craven Cottage. Fulham 0, Chelsea 2. Looking at the Premier League standings, where does that take Chelsea? Up to the heady heights of
11th,
bottom half of the table. Fulham will stay in 13th place. And it kind of just tells the story of where these two sides are at the moment in terms of Premier League action. We're back tomorrow with Champions League. Are you doing a Champions League game, a Champions League night this week?
Wednesday, I think. I think I'm on for that'll be Man City at Leipzig. So we'll see if they can stop the rot a little bit after 2 back-to-back defeats.
Yeah. So do join us again for more fun and frolics here on Clubhouse TV with sportsbet.io from myself and from Dave. It's a very good evening.
Covering every game of the English Premier League, Champions League and Europa League, live as they happen. This is Clubhouse TV.